The mushroom isn't a very popular seed in the seed shop. However, there is a good following behind it, with people always copying mushrooms as soon as they go into the shop because it is a very good valued fruit in the game. Now, the mushroom is not a multi-harvest fruit, which means once you grow a mushroom and you pick it up, you can't actually get it back. You have to buy another one to plant it again. However, because of this actually makes the base value of the mushroom higher than a lot of the other fruits, and that means you can get a very expensive mushroom. So in this grow a garden video, I attempted to grow the biggest mushroom and grow the mushroom with the most mutations possible on it. Make sure to watch it to the end of the video to see how much this mushroom actually was worth. All right, so we're gonna start out, of course, with all of our moon cats like we normally do. All right, so what I'm gonna go ahead and do is stack some sprinklers like right here. We're gonna do all of our sprinklers, master, godly, basic, and advanced, of course. But then we're gonna go ahead and place our mushrooms close to this group of sprinklers to hopefully have the effects be applied to them. There's not a lot of room to work with here, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, all of our moon cats are sleeping, but they're like not in range of our mushroom. Oh wow, they're like all over here. I guess what I'll do is I'll quickly try and place them in this group of moon cats to see if that will take effect on any of them, and then I'm gonna go ahead and place some more sprinklers right in this stash here. All right, now it's just a waiting game to see which mushrooms become the biggest out of all these, and then I guess we'll pick our mushroom. I don't really know how big the mushrooms can get. I don't think they can get as big as some other fruits in this game, but we're gonna go ahead and wait this out and see which one becomes the biggest, I guess. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and kind of compare some mushrooms here to get the top weighted one. I don't know if it matters if the mushroom is bigger like this. I'm not sure which one will actually affect the weight. So I guess what I'm gonna go ahead and do is there's this taller one right here, and I'm gonna compare it to one of these ones that have a bigger base to it. So I guess this like orange one in here will be a good choice. All right, let's see. Can I grab this one specifically? Yep. All right, we got that one. And then I'm gonna compare it to one of these because this one's a pretty wide one. So I'm gonna pick up these smaller ones carefully. All right, I'm gonna pick up this one, and then that will be a good comparison here. All right, so this one's 33 compared to this one that's a little bit taller, it's 30. So yeah, it looks like the width matters more for the price. And this one I think is our widest one, so I think we're gonna go with this one. It's not as big as I was hoping, but it's the biggest one I think in weight that we got. So this one will be our mushroom that we try to get every mutation on today. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply our 5 mutations on this thing so we can go ahead and get it to rainbow. And actually right before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and get our queen bee ready and our butterfly ready, just so their cooldowns can start. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and add shock to this. I'm gonna add pollinated. I'm going to add chocolate. We'll use a honey sprinkler. We're gonna add a cloud touch mutation onto this just so we have that 5th mutation. And just like that, it should update. We are good. We now have 5 mutations on our mushroom. And once this queen bee cools down, it will cool down our butterfly, and then this mushroom will turn into a rainbow mushroom. Okay, so this may or may not be good timing. We have about 1 minute left for our queen bee to cool down our butterfly and get this thing rainbow. And within that, we do have a heat wave event. So I'm hoping that this heat wave stays so we can get this thing rainbow. We can instantly get sun-dried applied to it. Because as you see, we just got sun-dried, but we got to get rainbow before we're supposed to get sun-dried. So I need this queen bee to hurry up so we can get sun-dried done and out of the way, like right now. I'm going to go ahead and also make sure I have some more tanning mirrors right next to this thing. All right, there we go. The butterfly is now cooled down from the queen bee and is about to apply rainbow, and hopefully this event does not end in like 2 seconds. All right, there we go. Our mushroom should now be rainbow, which it is, and now we just got to get a heat wave to hit one of these tanning mirrors so we can make sure that this thing gets sun-dried back. Please. There we go, and perfect. We made it. We made it. We got sun-dried applied back onto our rainbow mushroom. We're good. We have 2 of those mutations done. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pick up our queen bee and our butterfly. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is reapply the chocolate mutation onto here with shocked, pollinated, and a honey sprinkler to get us honey glaze, just like we did at the start. All right, there we go. And then on our main account, we're going to apply the amber mutation and also the cloud touch mutation. Now, I do have the chilled spray right here, but we're not going to do chilled just yet because we're going to try and work on ceramic first. So in the meantime, I'm going to have my main account leave, and hopefully we can get this thing to ceramic before we have our main account rejoin. Otherwise, we'll just go straight for frozen. All right, but just like that, our mushroom is looking pretty good. We are up to 8 mutations on it, and to go ahead and add to the fun of this, we're going to go ahead and start spawning in all of our pets. So we're gonna get our disco beast to get that disco mutation applied. We're gonna use our chicken zombies to get that zombified mutation applied. 2 cooked owls to get either cooked or burnt applied. And then we're going to do 1 scarlet, but we're also gonna do 1 mimic octopus, just so that way we can hopefully get a 100% chance to get one of these other mutations. Oh, you know what? Actually, before I use this bird to get verdant and then turn sun-dried into paradisal, I want this sun-dried to go to ceramic before it goes to paradisal. So I'm gonna actually go ahead and pick up our scarlet for now, and I am gonna go ahead and use our sea turtle, because thinking about it, I do need to get wet on this anyways in order to get this thing clay. So I'm gonna see if this event gives us wet or if our sea turtle gives us wet, and as long as we get one of the 2, I think we're good, and then we just gotta wait for a sandstorm to pass through. All right, usually the disco bees come in clutch. Let's see if that's true for today. 1 disco bee's going off. Zeffy? Let's go, dude. The disco bees, they just know their game, man. Look at that. We already got disco applied to the mushroom. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead then and pick up this other disco bee, and I guess in the meantime, we'll just get some more sea turtles just to get this thing wet quickly, because we really want to get that clay done, and then this thing can turn to ceramic. Okay, our sea turtle just applied wet to the mushroom, which is perfect timing because I gotta pick these guys up quick because our mimic octopus is about to mimic one of our other pets. So now we can either get cooked or burnt, or we'll be able to get zombified pretty much instantly with the mimic octopus. So let's see which one he decides to mimic. Okay, he's doing something. We'll see it. Okay, well, I thought the mimic octopus was a 100%, but he literally just failed. So I guess the mimic octopus is not a 100%. It can still fail, and I guess it just picks up on the rates of what your other pet's chances are. So I guess that makes sense. I think if it was a 100% success rate every time, it would be a little broken. All right, cooked owl applied burnt to mushroom. We now have burnt on our mushroom. Thank you, cooked owl. I wonder if one day we'll actually get the cooked mutation instead of burnt. It seems to be very, very rare. Oh, and chicken zombie applied zombified. So you know what? For once in my life, maybe I won't be so sad. And besides that, we could get verdant, but we're just gonna wait that one out until we can get that sun dry to turn into ceramic. I don't want to mess with that. I want to try to get ceramic first this time because that's the one we'd be struggling on. All right, so we have a windy event going on, so we can hopefully get this mushroom windstruck added onto it, since our dino eggs are still needing a lifetime to open. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna try to travel this mushroom to the front of my garden here, because for some reason, and other people noticed this too, I saw in the comments, that whenever you move the mushroom to the front of the garden, for some reason, you usually get windstruck a lot easier when it's up here. Now, maybe we're all just tripping, but I don't know. It seems to work for me in the past, and it seems like it works for other people, so hopefully this helps. Yeah, that didn't do anything. All right, we have another windy event coming through, so we're blessed again. Hopefully we can get windstruck done. This one should be easy, but for some reason it's very hit or miss for us. Okay, the event just ended. Let's see. Okay, we got windstruck. Let's go, dude. Maybe this corner is the blessed corner, but windstruck is added. Now we just gotta hope that we get a sandstorm soon and a tornado twisted event. Alright, so I have been AFKing on and off, and it's been like 3 hours. And of course, when I went AFK this last time, there was a tornado, there was a moon event, and there was another heat wave. So I think the game just doesn't like me, and it thought that I left for good. So then it started doing stuff. Looking back at the clips, the tornado literally was like on our mushroom, but it did not convert our windstruck. It did not give us twisted because our windstruck did not mix and convert to the tempestuous. Oh, but hold on. Wait a minute, this is perfect timing. We just got another tornado event to start. Okay, well, I'm gonna try and get our mushroom here to get twisted on it so we can get that to mix in and give us that mutation. However, AFKing though, we have not gotten one sandstorm, and it's been like hours and hours and hours of doing this. Oh, there's 2 tornadoes on this. Hold on. But the fact that there hasn't been a sandstorm within like the 3 or 4 hours I've been recording this video, I don't know if it's gonna be possible today to get ceramic. We just need Sandy in order to... We have everything else. We're ready. Oh, and there we go. We did just get tempestuous. So we just mixed twisted and windy, and now we have that. That's a good extra multiplier. Yeah, I guess we'll wait around for like another 30 minutes. But if we don't get Sandy, I think I'm going to go ahead and just convert that sun-dried to paradisal and convert that wet to frozen. Alright, so I have still been waiting hours on end, and we don't have friend-bound, and we also have not gotten one sandstorm throughout the hours of us recording this video, which is very unfortunate. So I'm gonna go ahead and move forward then with just turning the sand-dried into paradisal and the wet into frozen, and see what the value is after this. I wanted to at least get ceramic and celestial on this as well, but we're almost there, and we haven't gotten either events in hours and hours of waiting. So I guess what we're gonna go ahead and do is spawn in our Scarlets here, and just in case we'll spawn in our Mimic Octopus just to help them out if they don't make any progress. And I'm gonna go ahead and give them all a pet toy to hopefully boost their chances. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply the chilled spray to our mushroom. So now our mushroom is officially frozen instead of wet. Alright, and just like that, our Scarlet applied Verdant to our mushroom, which gives us Paradisal as it combined with the sun-dried mutation. Alright, I'm gonna pick all of these guys up, and we are now at 14 mutations on this thing. Now, if you expand some of the ones that combined, we'd be at 16 mutations. Now, I only really needed to get Ceramic on this, and then maybe Celestial and Aurora. So we're pretty much missing 3 legit mutations, but we're almost there. But within hours of sitting here, I didn't get any of those events, which is crazy. Now, of course, this doesn't include all the admin ones, but I think the creator program is supposed to resume very soon, so we can start getting those in these videos again. It's time to check with Steven the price of our mushroom. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do that. And Steven, what is our mushroom valued at? Alright, so our mushroom is worth 5 billion. I think this could have definitely been a lot more if the size of this thing was bigger. I don't really know the max size you can get of a mushroom. I know I've seen some very, very tall ones before, some very big ones, but for this one only being, I don't even know, probably around 30 to 40 kilograms, that's pretty good. I mean, 5 bill is pretty good with all these mutations. There's definitely other plants that would have gotten you more. But first off, you know what? I've been noticing that every time I'm in this plot or this plot, those event mutations hardly hit, and it seems like they always target the middle plots or the very far end plots. So my first goal getting started is to actually get some alt accounts in here, so they spawn in these 2 plots, and then I can take this nice little plot over here. All right, Grow Garden is loading. Let's see if this actually worked. All right, perfect. We're in one of the middle lots now, so this should help us with some mutations. There's my main account garden, by the way. I have that big cactus that's an obstacle course. All right, so step 1 is complete. Now step 2 is we're going to get all of our moon cats prepared yet again to get a big candy blossom seed. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in all of the moon cats that we have in my inventory. I think that's all 8 of them. And let's go ahead and plant our candy blossom down. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it maybe over here, like right in the middle towards the entrance a little bit, so the events can hopefully hit it. I'm trying to get this thing in range of everything that's about to attack it. All right, and then we will go ahead and put a master sprinkler down. We will do our godly sprinkler, advanced sprinkler, and our basic sprinkler. Then we're just gonna go ahead and watering can this guy. All right, perfect. We are set up, and all the moon cats are already sleeping. You know what? Actually, yeah, before we put this over here, I'm going to move it. I know I just put all my sprinklers down, but I think over here will be better so the moon cats can reach it, so we can get our initial fruits to grow big. And then once we actually have all that done, then we'll move it to the entrance. I also think, just to help this time around, I'm going to give myself some more range of what I can use in my garden. I'm going to expand it on both sides. In that way, if the events happen and they're like a little bit close over here, I can again move my candy blossom over. There we go. That'll expand it just a little bit. I don't think we need this one, even though it takes 24 hours to buy this one. I don't think we're gonna need this one. We mostly just need the sides and then to be pretty close up here. All right, now we wait for candy blossoms to grow. It looks like there's already one growing right there, and it might be pretty big. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and compare, because in the sugar apple video, we had a really big candy blossom grow in, and then we ended up not using that one and going for another one that was even bigger than that one. This one looks just a tad bit smaller than this one. Okay, yeah, I definitely think we have our candy blossom that we're going with. This one is definitely looking more mighty than this one. All right, I don't think the Mooncats can really get this to be any bigger. This is a pretty big candy blossom that we have. I think they've done their work. This thing is just going to grow in now. So I think we're gonna go ahead and go with this one. And in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and pick up these Mooncats then, because they have done their job. And we are going to go ahead and get a butterfly going. We're gonna need the butterfly to get all of the mutations on this to rainbow. So we're gonna get a butterfly inbound so this thing can get its cooldown, because it takes 28 plus minutes for the butterfly to cool down. All right, but to get those mutations, this thing looks pollinated already, unless it's gold, but I'm gonna go ahead and just in case, I will spray some pollinated mutation on it. Okay, yeah, it is already pollinated, so we're good there. We're gonna go ahead and get shocked on it. We're gonna go ahead and get chocolate on it, just like we've been doing, and that should be 3 mutations already. And then we're gonna go ahead and get the honey sprinkler on it, and that should be 4 mutations. And then to get that 5th one, so we can convert them all over to rainbow, I'm going to summon the polar bear army like I've been doing, because this is an easy way to get chilled pretty quick. Yeah, okay, this one is ready now. Pollinated, shocked, chocolate, chilled, and honey glaze. So this one already has the 5 mutations we need for the butterfly to do its work. But I guess since we got everything else done that we need to for now, and we have a pretty big candy blossom that we're going to take, I'm gonna go ahead and move this back over here, because we're gonna get this thing ready for events. And you know what? I'm gonna actually try and make this stick out of my garden as much as it can. So maybe what we'll do is we will go in the corner right here. Is that gonna stick out? I think it's just gonna make it. Let's see how far I can go. Like right there. Perfect. Now it's sticking out of the garden. So I think any event should have a better chance of actually hitting it. All right, so I went AFK for like 15 minutes, and this thing actually became frozen while I was gone. So there must have been a snowstorm while I was AFK. So that kind of sucks though, because it seems like I can never get frozen after I already have rainbow. All right, so Colleen here is about to cool down and give this candy blossom the rainbow mutation on it. But real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and carefully collect these other candy blossoms, including this other one that grew in rainbow. All right, here we go. Colleen is attacking. Let's watch this thing get converted to rainbow. All right, boom. Butterfly transform candy blossom into a rainbow candy blossom. Look at this thing. It looks great. Oh, also while I'm here, I want to say, because a lot of people are like, Bandites, you didn't actually get the gold mutation on your plant. Well, actually, if you didn't know, you can only get rainbow or gold. And I'm choosing rainbow because it gives you more value than gold. I think gold is like 20 times value and rainbow's 50 times. Okay, yeah, I guess technically this one is going to be bigger, because you can see the little stem on it is a lot bigger than this little one. Let's do the stud check. We got 2, 4, 6, 8 studs going across. This one we got 2, 4, 6, 8, but there's a little cutoff here on this part. I didn't think this big of one was gonna grow in after I already got rainbow, pollinated, shocked, and chocolate and honey glaze back on it. It's a really hard decision to make, but I know you guys are gonna want to see the bigger one make the most money. So unfortunately, I think we're gonna pause on this one, and we're gonna go ahead and quickly catch this one up, get all the mutations on this one, and hopefully we'll be back in business in just a second. We're gonna wait this out again and get this back to rainbow. So I will see you guys in another 30 minutes. All right, well, we're at least back to having all 5 mutations, and I did want to go ahead and try and see if this one sticks out of our garden even more than that last one was going to, so let's just take a look real quick. Yeah, this one definitely pokes out into the middle of the map a little better, so I think this will actually be good in the long run to get these event mutations to hit. Okay, well, I just reset my butterfly's cooldowns again, it looks like, so that just added another couple minutes back onto this. However, we do have some queen bees here. The queen bee has a slightly less cooldown than the butterflies by a couple of minutes, and that will actually recharge one of the butterflies. So it looks like this one, 21 minutes. This will actually save us 6 minutes to get this butterfly to charge back up. And this is something we're going to use in the future as well. We're just going to use a queen bee to charge up our butterfly, so we save a few minutes in the long haul. All right, so we're about to witness a chain reaction. Our queen bee here is about to cool down one of our butterflies, who will then take all of our mutations and convert this new candy blossom into rainbow, and then we'll be caught back up to where we were. All right, and also just to make sure that this all goes well, we're gonna trowel this back over here for all of our pets to easily reach. Okay, it looks like the bee just cooled down a butterfly, and now the butterfly is doing its thing, and boom, candy blossom is back to rainbow. as you can see. So we're caught back up with that. Now we just got to use our mutation sprays, of course. So the chocolate back on it, put pollinated back on it, shocked back on it, and then use a honey sprinkler here. And just like that, we are back to having 5 mutations. And now we're gonna go ahead and pick up our butterflies here. And we're gonna go ahead and use the polar bears again to get this thing chilled. And then we're gonna get ready for the event spam from Brighter. Oh, was that the one we needed? It said one of them applied, but it might have been that one. Hold on, let me see, let me see. Oh, perfect, they did good. We got chilled. All right, that is all we needed, and now we can get Brighter in here to start the event spam to get the other mutation. All right, there we go. These are our 2 biggest queen bees, and that will help with cooling down some of the pets we're gonna use, which are the chicken zombies we're gonna spawn in, and then we're gonna spawn in 3 disco bees, and hopefully we'll get a mutation from these guys, one of these guys at least. All right, Brighter is here. So we're about to get ready for the event spam, and as he gets stuff queued up for us to start spawning in all these events, I'm gonna go ahead and get these star crawlers ready. These little candy blossoms keep growing in, and I don't like that because they're just gonna yoink all of my mutations. So far, we did just get bloodlet, which is good. That's a good sign because the other days, our RNG has been absolutely horrendous. Oh, hello, Mr. Jandel. Here comes the lasers. I'm gonna see if this sticking out far enough will actually get plasma faster. Yeah, so look at that. This is much better being in the middle because this laser is nearly touching this now. I was always over there. Okay, of course when I'm not over there now, the laser gets really close. This is still a way better guarantee to get plasma. I believe. I have hope. I mean, look at this. He's literally lasering that thing head on. I have hope that it's gonna get plasma. Oh, we just got one. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. One of them is plasma now. Come on, Jandel. Come on, you can hit it. You can do this. I believe in you. Look, your aim has definitely increased, and it's only because I went from that corner to the middle of the map. Wait, hold on. Oh, are you kidding? This one's plasma, and this one's plasma, but not this one. There's the heavenly event. Can we at least get heavenly on this big guy? I mean, all these other ones are getting the good stuff. Can this big one have some fun, please? Oh, another one, and boop. He's gone. I believe Brighter queued up like 5 of each event, so we have quite a few chances to get things, but it seems like it's actually really hard to get some of the event mutations to hit your plants. Oh, okay. Heavenly is done. Now it's time for the volcano. This one I usually seem to get. I always seem to get Molten. Our Jandel event luck is never there. We didn't get plasma on this big one. We did get it on the other ones, and we did get a zombified. We did not get any heavenly on any of them. Oh, get some big... Okay, that's like right here. That's gotta affect. This hitbox goes like all the way over here. I feel like magma landing anywhere in this radius should affect this to get Molten. Oh, whoa, I just saw something. Oh yeah, it just went to Molten. Perfect, we got it. All right, well, since we got Molten, I'm gonna actually see if I can climb the volcano while we watch it. I wanna see what's inside of the volcano. We always just be watching it from afar. You got any snacks up here? What's in here? Oh, I've seen things I don't want to see. Oh, we got the admin meteors coming in. Or meteoric. Hopefully they hit. Let's get a nice direct hit over here, please. Oh, there we go. That's one to land right here. Oh, this got meteoric. Meteors, please land right here. Just right here, please. Just land right here. You did so good on that one, but I need you to land one, like, right here. Oh, okay, that one was like on top of this. And that one was on top of this. Oh, there we go, we got it, meteoric. Okay, perfect. Oh, all right, we just transitioned from meteors to void touched. All right, I'm gonna carefully collect this little gold one. This rainbow one's almost done. Next disco bee, please apply to this one and don't fail. That would be really cool. This one, right, it failed. Okay, well, no void touch affecting it, so I'm sad. But at least Celestial is pretty easy to get because we have these star crawlers here. And to even increase my chances, I'm gonna go ahead and put another one right here. I might be jinxing myself right now. I said it's pretty easy to get Celestial, and now none of these are hitting. None of my star crawlers have even used one of their ability points. Surprised none of these are hitting, but oh, I think that one just hit. That was like right here. Okay, that one just hit. That was literally just, okay, perfect. Oh, and it just hit again. Okay, now we're getting stuff. There we go. We just got Celestial. Perfect. Well, I guess moving it maybe helped. I don't know, but I'm gonna go ahead and face it into the middle of the map now because when the tornado comes around for Twisted, this guy's got to be sticking out a little bit because that tornado does not really like to go into people's plots. Oh, our first tornado just spawned in, and it actually is pretty close now that this thing is poking out into the middle of the map. Oh, he's moving. He's getting close over there. Hold on. Travel. Move him. There you go. That's in radius. He's getting closer. Oh, he's gonna come into the plot, I think. Are you gonna come for a visit? Oh, no, you're gonna go into heaven. Wait, this one got twisted up here. So that definitely worked. That definitely was in range. These two are twisted, but I just gotta get this thing twisted now. Oh, hold on. There we go. Right smack middle in the tornado. That's gotta do it. Okay, hold on. No. Come back. Come on. Stick with it, tornado. Don't back down. I'm just gonna keep going for it. Come on, keep going. I'm gonna just keep predicting your pattern. I'm gonna make sure you just twist up this tree as much as you can. So hopefully when I undo this travel, it says twisted on the big one. Twisted? Hello? Let's go, it worked. It actually worked. We got twisted on it. Twisted is a really annoying one to get. All right. Let's see if these cooked owls get us cooked or burnt. They usually don't give us either. Oh, cooked owl applied burnt to candy blossom, but which one did it apply? Oh, it applied another burnt. Okay. Surprisingly enough, we actually got burnt these times, but it's on this one that's not grown in yet, and this one that's not grown in yet. Oh, my disco bee failed disco mutation again, and it actually aimed at the correct one. All right, we've pretty much gotten everything that we possibly can at the moment. We got all the events to play through, and we have 11 mutations. We are missing at this one plasma, heavenly, frozen, which I guess we have chilled, but we got to convert that to frozen, zombified, void touch, moonlit, but we do have bloodlit, disco, and either cooked or burnt. We're gonna go ahead and have Brighter work his magic like usual, and he's going to add the rest of the mutations in the game onto this thing. So I know it looks like they're not all here yet, and most of them are, but not all of them. But Brighter, when he works his magic, they will all be there, I promise. He can also add Dawnbound onto this, which is a sunflower only mutation. All right, Brighter is here. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this big guy. Is it this one? Yes, this one has rainbow on it, so it's this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I favorite that. We're gonna gift it to Brighter, so he has one to work with. All right, he is adding the rest of the mutations onto the candy blossom now. Oh, there it is. The special fruit. Thank you, Brighter. All right, so here's the big guy. We have the maxed out candy blossom. Oh, wait, he forgot something? Dawnbound. Okay, he's gonna add it. Hold it out. Wait, what did he just do? Where did it go? Okay, hold on, a trash one. Okay, this one's trash. All right, there we go. So this thing is now looking pretty. So if I search up Dawnbound, you can see it actually has taken Dawnbound. With every mutation added on here from Brighter, this thing should hopefully break some records on how much it is worth. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk to Steven to get the value of this, and this thing is worth a whopping 908 billion, almost 1 trillion. This thing did not break 1 trillion. I think a lot of people thought it would, but it is right there touching 1 trillion. It is worth 900 billion, which is very, very expensive and higher than any of the other fruits that we've done. Shout out to Brighter. Very nice dance moves on his part. So we're gonna go ahead and, like we normally do to get things started with these, we're gonna spawn in all of our mooncats. We're gonna go ahead and put our sunflower to begin with right over here, so it's a little close to all the mooncats, and then we're going to get these sprinklers set up. So we got a master sprinkler, we got a godly sprinkler, advanced, and a basic sprinkler. Okay, and there's our sunflower, and this should grow pretty quick with all those sprinklers. And then to also speed things up, we have some watering cans. So I'm gonna go ahead and spam this. We're gonna get this thing fully grown. Okay, this is gonna go a lot faster with the watering cans and sprinklers. So I don't really know how big we can get the sunflower. Now the thing about the sunflower is that it only has one fruit that actually sprouts off the top. Well, I guess flower in in this case. All of the other plants that we have done so far have multiple, so there's usually opportunity for a very big fruit to grow in afterwards, after we already have a very big one, but this one's only one guy at the top. All right, I'm not seeing any sprouting with this yet, so this is going to be a tough one. We're going to have to wait a while for this thing to grow in. Now, these sunflowers can be pretty huge, so I'm really hoping we get a big one. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good size. We're going to need a lot more watering cans, I think, because this thing is growing pretty slowly, and if we don't watering can it, it might actually take hours to fully grow in. Okay, this thing is finally starting to take shape just a little bit, but look at how long that stem is. And I believe it's already gold because it's sparkling a lot. Okay, I can actually apply my mutation sprays on this now, though, so we can get chocolate, we can get pollinated on it, and we can get shocked on it. So those are 3 of those, and then we can get our honey sprinkler on it down here. And then, just so we don't waste any time, I think the Mooncats have done their job. I mean, this thing is looking pretty big. I don't think the Mooncats can really do anything else. I think this is set in stone of how big it's going to grow now. I'm going to go ahead and pick these guys up. And we are going to try and get one of these polar bears to chill it. So that way we could start working towards getting this rainbow. I guess the one advantage of this thing is that there's only one fruit on it. So all the mutations can only affect this one sunflower. So this one should be maybe a little bit easier than all of the other plants we've done so far. All right, the polar bears are doing their first strike. Oh, and there we go. Polar bear applied chilled to sunflower. So this thing should have 5 mutations on it. We can't view them at the moment. To not waste any time, we're going to pick up all of these polar bears. And we're going to go ahead and spawn in 1 butterfly here because we only need 1 for rainbow. Oh, look at that. As the petals start to grow in, they're all shiny and glowy from the shocked mutation, and it actually looks pretty cool. All right, we have some good news. Our sunflower is fully grown, and we do have all those mutations on there, which means that once this queen bee recharges its cooldown in about 7 minutes, it will completely cool down our butterfly, which will save us about 4 minutes, and then the butterfly will turn all of these into the rainbow mutation, and then we can restart, get all of our other mutations back, and move along with the events. All right, our queen bee is about to finish her cooldown, and then she is going to cool down our butterfly, and then our butterfly is going to take action and convert this to rainbow. And there we go. So now our sunflower is completely rainbow. We can go ahead and pick up our queen bee and our butterfly, and we can go ahead and get all the mutations back on it that we just had. So let's go ahead and get our shocked. Let's go ahead and get our chocolate, and let's also go ahead and get that pollinated back on there. And then we're going to go ahead and use one of these honey sprinklers right on there, and boom, we're back to 5 mutations. And then what we're going to go ahead and do is get our polar bears out to get chilled back on this. So we're just going to go ahead and spawn in all of them. Okay, 3 of them already failed. Half of them failed. Come on, one of you get chilled. It's not that hard. You guys did it before, like instantly. Oh, the last one came in clutch and applied chilled to the sunflower. Whoever that one was, you're getting a promotion. The rest of you, I don't want to hear it. Go back in my inventory. All right, so here comes the fun part, because we actually have a new bird here, the scarlet macaw, and this thing can actually get a new mutation that only this pet, nothing else, can give you, which is the verdant mutation, which is a 15% chance to apply every 12 minutes. So we're going to spawn in 2 of these guys to hopefully get verdant on this thing. We're also going to go ahead and spawn in 2 disco bees to hopefully get the disco mutation. And with that, we're going to also spawn in some chicken zombies, because we need chicken zombies to get zombified on this guy. And finally, we're going to spawn in some cooked owls, and that should be all the pets that can mutate this thing. Hopefully all these guys, their cooldowns go quick, and hopefully our chances today are good, and we get cooked or burnt, we get disco, we get verdant, and we get zombified, so we can have all the pet mutations, and this thing can really get maxed out, because we need to make some big money from this. And just like we did last time, I'm going to go ahead and move this sunflower a little bit closer to the edge of my garden, so we hopefully have a better chance for these mutations to hit. Just like we did last time as well, I just realized that we're at the very end plot, which seems like the mutations have a harder time hitting. So before we have Brighter queue up everything, I'm gonna go ahead and get 2 accounts in, so I can hopefully get this lot or this lot, so we're closer to the middle, and hopefully that will give us better chances for all of the event mutations to hit our sunflower. All right, that actually worked out perfectly. We now have a middle lot, so I'm gonna go ahead and make my other accounts leave, and then we should be good to go for that event spam from Brighter. Oh, let's go. The disco bee just applied disco to the sunflower. Wow, we actually got disco for once. It seems like we never get disco. I literally wasn't ready, but Brighter just joined and he just queued the new space event. I was tabbed out for a second checking something, but here is the new space travel event, which actually gives a 75% growth speed, but you can get the galactic mutation. Okay, and he queued up the night event. So he's gonna queue up everything. We should be able to get 2 events at a time and get some mutations on that sunflower, but I really got to see if these are physical objects that I can stand on. I want to know. Oh yes, you can jump on these. Okay, this is all I wanted to do. I feel like I should get the galactic. Okay, I'm falling. It's restarting. We didn't get any of the mutations. I think he's gonna queue up more. Did just get moonlit. That's good because we needed the moonlit mutation and it is nighttime. And it looks like we're also now are getting the alien invasion event, which is a new one. How are you happy? There's literally an alien invasion going on right now and you're smiling? What is wrong with you? Are you one of them? I mean, you kind of look like you might be one of them. All right, well, we're not having any luck getting alien-like. Oh, we might get verdant, though. Come on, birds. Birdies. Let's go. Verdant. Verdant mutation. Verdant mutation. Apply. Let's go. That was actually really easy. I thought it was going to take a lot longer for these guys to apply. We got the verdant mutation. Wow, our pets are actually cooperating with us today. That is awesome. I'm going to pick you guys up, and then we're going to add another cooked owl to the team. Okay, I can add 1 queen bee. Oh. The alien event ended and we're back into space. All right, let me progress my obby though before you guys restart. I just want to get to the top. Yo, let's go. We made it. We made it. Wait, I want to make that one. Please. No. Oh, we made it. We made it. Let's go. Oh, no way. We just got zombified from one of the zombie chickens. I feel like we never get zombified, so this is awesome. We're actually getting all of the pet mutations that we need. All right, well, we didn't get alien-like, we didn't get galactic, but right off the bat, the tanning mirror just reflected this heat wave. And it looks like we got... Did we even get the heat wave? Hello? Did we get sun-dried? I don't think we got sun-dried. Okay, well, wait a minute. What is this? This is new. Oh, that's interesting. So if you actually combine the verdant mutation and the sun-dried mutation, it turns it into paradisals. The mutation we got from our scarlet macaw just mixed with the sun-dried heat wave hitting our sunflower. So yeah, it's still reflecting, so I don't think it will stack because we have paradisal. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. No, look. You can actually get sun-dried and paradisal, but if I get verdant again, I think it might just combine it again. Oh. Hello, Jandel. Nice to see you. What are you lasering exactly over there? Jandel's aim has gotten even worse from the last few videos. He doesn't even aim now. He just only knows how to shoot one spy. I need this thing to hit my sunflower, Jandel. I don't know if you understand. I don't know if it's gonna hit if you're just gonna sit right there and only shoot the ground. Oh, well, we're not gonna get plasma right now, but we did just get the burnt mutation from one of our owls. I don't think we can get cooked then. We just got burnt, so I think cooked is out of the picture, but look at this. This thing is shaping up nicely with all these mutations on it right now. Well, we have a chance here to get heavenly. The plasma definitely didn't work. Jandel decided to shoot the floor, but maybe heavenly. We will get heavenly for once. We never get heavenly. This is the one that we always struggle to get. Hey, your laser's still sitting here, buddy. Did you want to take this? And we didn't get heavenly. Okay, well, those will be some that Brighter will have to help with, but we always have good chances with Molten. So let's see if this happens. Molten hot steaming lava. Please hit my sunflower. It seems like they're all going into like the middle of my garden. So if I put this thing right here, I think we have a better chance of getting Molten to hit. Oh, right when I move it too, that one just landed on top of where it just was sitting. Oh, that's, bro, these are like in. These are so in. Oh, wait, it's just sitting here. No, I missed. And it's gone. I'm so sad. We always get Molten. That's the one we always get, and we didn't get it today. We can get Meteoric if one of these things just slam right here. That wasn't right here. Right here. Yeah, like that, exactly. But just a little bit closer. Yeah, like that, exactly. Come on. I can do this, man. I know I can do this. I can get... This game is trolling me. Did you see? It was right there. All right, never mind. We missed our chance for Meteoric, but we missed our chance for that in Molten. The one that we normally don't get is Void Touch, so maybe we'll get Void Touch this time. Wait, I just saw something happen. Let's go. Okay, so today we're just getting all the mutations that we don't normally get. That is the pattern. We just got Void Touch. All right, we have Celestial Stars. shooting stars coming down. This should be a pretty easy one to get. We have star callers lined up. There's no way it misses. The star callers, they're gonna call them in. They're gonna call them in. Yeah, look at that. Boom. That should be celestial. Is that not celestial, actually? Is that out of range? No, that was in range. Why did that not? Oh, there we go. And there we go. That's on. That's on. That's on. We get it? Okay, now we got it. I don't know why the other ones didn't react to it. Oh, we got wind. It doesn't show, but we got wind. This one's kind of uneventful. It's just wind. So I guess we'll just sit here and wait and see if anything changes on our sunflower. Oh, here we go. Oh, wow, it actually spawned like right onto my property here. All right, hold on. We gotta move this quick. Get it over there next to the tornado. Tornado, come on in. You spawn next to us. You could come in. It's fine. Oh, it's in the garden. Tornado. Yes, it's just hovering on it. Perfect. Come on. Come on. Hey, yo, don't leave. Don't leave. They're both right here. This is a really good opportunity to get twisted. Come on in. Here. Come on. Come on in. Yeah, there you go. Perfect, perfect. Oh, and this one spawned right here. These tornadoes love me. No twisted yet. All right. I don't know if these are even going to get me twisted. Oh, this one's coming over here. Please come over here and don't despawn. That's the last thing. That's the last thing we needed. That was the last thing we needed you to do. Oh, that one's right. That one's in. You like me. I could tell you like me because you just spawned in my garden. All right. This is good. This is good. He's doing stuff. He's touching the sunflower. Anything? Any twisted? No. Still nothing. Still nothing at all. Very sad, and we did not get twisted. Now, I want to note down right now that it is raining, so the chilled will hopefully become frozen. It'll mix chilled and wet, get frozen, hopefully. Before this rain ends, we gotta be quick because Brighter queued up, since this is the sunflower, of course, he queued up the sun god event to happen very soon, within probably 5 to 10 minutes after this rain ends. So, I'm gonna need some help with this one because you need at least 4 sunflowers, 4 people to get Dawnbound. We're gonna go ahead and add some of my friends into this VIP server, and then once this rain ends, the sun god should appear, and then it will be our time and our small window to hopefully get Dawnbound. Alright, the sun god is here, and all my friends are here. At least I hope they're my friends. So we're gonna pull out our sunflower. We just picked it up with all the mutations on it. Where is it? I can't find it. I'm stressing out. Where's my sunflower? Oh, here it is. Okay. All right, we gotta touch all the sunflowers together, and then hopefully we get Dawnbound. Wait, okay, did they all get it? Did I get it? I don't think I got it in time. I think I actually just messed this up. Oh yeah, they just need new sunflowers. I need the crew to hurry and get sunflowers. I have some on my main account. All right, real quick, I'm gonna try to get my main account in here before this ends so we can try to get Dawnbound. Okay, there we go. We got it. Alright, so now this thing officially has Dawnbound on it. That was stressful. I messed up. I didn't get in the circle in time, so I had to add my main account in here, trade with them some more sunflowers because they didn't have any fresh ones, but we're good now. Alright, Brighter is in, and he is about to make this thing go even more crazy than it already is. These are the mutations that we are missing here. We're missing galactic, alien-like, plasma, heavenly, molten, meteoric, bloodlit, twisted, and frozen, which he's about to add all of these onto it now. So we have the rest of the mutations. I know we didn't get cooked, but we do have burnt on it technically, and we didn't get gold, but we also have rainbow on it. With that being said, we have all the other mutations that are possible to get, and he's adding the other ones that are possible to get all at once. All right, he is working his magic, converting the rest of the mutations onto this sunflower now. It looks really awesome. Oh, and Frozen's on it now. It looks a little bit more chilled out. All right. There you go. Thank you, Brighter, as always. Always coming in clutch. Always the GOAT. All right. So we got our big sunflower here. We're going to go ahead and check the value of it with all the mutations on it now. So let's go ahead and talk to Steven and see how much this sunflower is worth. We are at a whopping 102 billion shekels for this sunflower. I can't lie, I thought this sunflower was going to be more with all the mutations, but I think this thing is worth less than some of the other plants that we've gotten all the mutations on, just because this thing is harder to get a giant size for. All the other plants in the game, they take better effect from the mooncats, but this one specifically does struggle a little bit. Now this one is very big compared to like this sunflower that just grew in. However, it's not as big as it probably could be compared to some of the other plants in the game, which makes the value of it less overall. But 102 billion is still pretty good for a sunflower. I did expect more, as this thing's minimum value is 144,000. All right, so before Brighter runs all the events, we actually have to get a pretty big pepper seed. So first off, what I'm going to do is actually place these sprinklers down. So we have a bunch of spice sprinklers. Then I'm going to do master sprinklers next to all of these. Then I'm going to also run up some basic sprinklers. And then we're going to go ahead and grow our dragon pepper seeds. I'm going to put one next to all of the sprinklers. And we're going to see what we get from this, if it actually makes a pretty big pepper. What we're looking for is the biggest dragon pepper that we can possibly get out of all of these. So we'll see what we get. We have some watering cans, so to speed this up, we're going to go ahead and water these. And it looks like we're gathering a little bit of an audience. Hello, welcome to the show. All right, there we go. The dragon peppers are sprouting, and they're actually sprouting really quick. All right, so these are actually pretty big ones. I don't know which one looks to be the biggest so far. Let me see. Maybe this one. Oh, no, this one right here. Definitely this one. So this one's pretty big. It's not as big as I was hoping we would get, but it's decent enough that I'm going to go ahead and keep this. So we have our dragon pepper here. Now, Brighter is going to go crazy and pretty much run every single possible event that he can. All right, he said event time. Let's do it. Bet. All right, here we go, boys. We're about to get every event possible from Brighter. Thank you so much, Brighter, for doing this. All right, here we go. We got the black hole event to hopefully get void touched on this thing, and in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and remove these other dragon peppers. All right, we got the black hole going. Let's see if any of these get void touched. I'm hoping that this big one does. We gotta get void touched on the big guy. Oh, it looks like we're getting some more events. We got bloodlet on here. Okay, he's just gonna go crazy and do all of them. All right, we didn't get any void touch, surprisingly. Oh, but we are getting a meteor strike. Okay, this is the new one. This is the admin only exclusive meteor strike. Oh, one just landed really close, but it didn't hit our dragon pepper head on. Come on, dude. We're getting like horrible luck right now. All these things are just missing completely. Come on, let's get some meteors over here. All right, we got a tornado coming in for the possible twisted mutation. This thing's gonna have to come over here though. Tornado, yo, come on. Come over here. Come over here. Come on. Yeah. Closer. Closer. Come on. Just a little closer. Come on. Come on, buddy. Good, tornado. Come on. Come on in. Don't be shy. Come on over here. I have to move this over here real quick. Wait. Come on. Yo. Get over here. All right, I'm about to trowel this right into it. Go. Did I just miss that? Oh my, bro. How did I not get any of these? All right, so I said my luck is so bad, might need to run those again, and Brighter said bet. So we're about to get round 2 of all these. In the meantime, I'm gonna use these mutation sprays on this one, and we're gonna get chocolate on it. Or actually, that's pollinated, and then we're gonna get chocolate on it, so that way we can start racking up some of these mutations. We'll have to get the shocked mutation spray as well, but we'll do that in a minute. Volcanic eruption. Oh my, bro. Okay, so this is the new volcano event that you can get. We're gonna hope that one of these giant magma blocks hits our dragon pepper. So far, it's pollinated, it's chocolate, it's bloodlet, but none of the other things have hit, so we're just gonna have to wait. Oh, that one's about to touch. Yo, that one was so close. Did it touch? No, it didn't, and I accidentally just collected the one we just did all that to, the big one. All right, well. All right, we got chalk, bloodlet, void touched. All right, there we go. Now we got pollinated on it. All right. So now we got to get one of these to hit so we can get Celestial on it. And then we're going to have him run back the other events he just did because our luck right now is completely terrible. I'm going to trowel this guy over here to the corner so he has a better chance to actually get hit by some of this stuff whenever we redo these events. So I can trowel it in between these 2 star crawlers so both of them should be able to hit. That way it's in the corners, so we should get the other events to actually hit this. And in the meantime, while we do that, we actually have some pets here. So I'm gonna run up some disco bees to get this thing disco mutated. We also have some chicken zombies, so we're gonna try to use these to get the zombified mutation on this thing. All right, so he gave me some pretty OP pets. Jandel is here to laser the map. All right, he's lasering the map. Is he gonna come this way? He'll come this way. Buddy. Buddy, look, man. Why do all these events only want to target the middle of the map? Hey, yo, Jandel. I need you to wake up and listen, man. Look, I'm over there. Do you not see that right there? Is it not possible for you to just hit that one right there? Please. I need your mutations. While he's doing this, I'm gonna go ahead and buy a shocked mutated spray. That way I can go ahead and get this guy shocked so we don't have to wait for that. All right, there we go. We got pollinated, we got shocked. All right, we need this twister to head this way and all of these events to actually head over here now. Alright, so I was literally AFK for a second because there was a roach attacking us. We got Celestial and Twisted on this one Dragon Pepper. I wanted it on this one, but this works too. Alright, so we'll start working on this one then. We'll add some pollination onto that. We'll add some chocolate onto this. This should help with some disco. Oh wait, one of them just got disco. Wait, this one got disco. Okay, so we can just get Twisted to hit this one. It'll actually be better. Alright, we have two very good ones right now, but one has Twisted and one has Void Touch. So they're like split. It's split between them both for me right now. Alright, hopefully these chicken zombies actually do what they're supposed to. What are the chances for this? So 22% chance. We have 3 of them. So that's like a 60% chance that one of these is going to get zombified in a second. Okay, one chicken zombie just went off, but he failed. This one failed. Come on, we got one more. We got one more. Come on. Come on, please. And failed. Okay. We're going to try to get gold on it instead in the meantime. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in these dragonflies. Now, I also forgot we do have to get honey glazed on this. So I'm going to go ahead and also sprinkle these honey sprinklers down. And hopefully this will help. Oh, wait, that was actually quick. We already got honey glaze. It only took like 1 sprinkler. All right, there we go. Our dragonfly finally put gold on this one. So now we are up to 10 mutations. We still got to get this wet to become frozen. And then we still need pretty much the rest of the admin events. But we're getting there. We made a lot of progress so far. Bro, no way this guy actually just stole this. All right, well... yeah, this dude just stole it, so that's awesome. So glad that he did that. So I'm gonna have to get disco on this one now and void touched. All right, we got another Jandel event happening, and this is actually making some good progress. So this one actually just got moonlit on it, and it does have twisted, which is harder to get, I think, than the void touch. We'll just wait for these events to keep spamming in, but we gotta get Jandel to hit this with plasma. All right, yo, we got plasma on the dragon pepper from that. All right, hopefully we can get volcanic though. We need volcanic. Okay, that literally just like slammed on top of this thing, but I don't think that gave it volcanic, did it? Oh, yes, it did. We got molten. We got molten. That's another 2 down. All right, perfect. Bro said 37 Robux and literally looked at my dragon pepper. Bro, please have a heart. It was already stolen. I'll be so sad. All right, we're finally at peace in our own server, dude. I was starting to stress out after that guy stole. But anyways, this thing has now got wet on it. And once these polar bears do some more work, I mean, they only have like a minute cooldown. We should hopefully get frozen on this one. They're trying to apply it. Oh, let's go. He got chilled on this one. So now it is frozen officially. That is another one to check off the box. I'm going to pick up all of these polar bears and I guess we'll go ahead and do the cooked owls for now. And then we'll try to get the disco bees back in. But I think we have some disco events queued. So cooked owls we'll prioritize for now. These guys take 15 minutes. And then hopefully we'll get some cooked. Now these are only an 18.4% chance every 15 minutes. I mean, it can still get burnt, so we'll see what happens. All right, Brighter's back in. He's gonna try and spam some more of the weather events for me to get the remaining admin mutations on this dragon pepper. My zombie chickens just failed at mutating, and also my disco bees just failed as well. They were close. All right, I'm just gonna keep picking up these other dragon peppers just so I have a better chance to actually get my mutations on this. Because I've been at this for like nearly 3 hours and it's like 6 in the morning almost, and I should probably go to bed. Ryder's gonna just hook me up. He's gonna mutate this plant and just give me all the mutations on it at this point, since that's what I've been working for. Because bro, the RNG I'm getting right now is actually insane, and I can't actually get anything good. Ryder is going to help me. He's going to just mutate this thing for me, and we're gonna check the value. All right, we're gonna get all the mutations on it. So here we go. As the void touch is going, I'm going to pick this up in 3, 2, 1. All right, we have it. All right, so he's gonna work his magic. He's gonna bless this thing. Let me, where'd it go? Where'd it go? This is it, but for some reason it just like broke, and now it's really tiny, probably because it has all the mutations on it, but this is the one. All right, so now he just works some magic, and this one has literally every single mutation in the game. As you can see, you see pollinated, celestial, moonlit, heavenly, bloodlit, plasma, honey glaze, frozen, gold. There's pretty much no more commas because I can't display the rest of the mutations on this. So this is my pepper with every single mutation. Thank you, Brighter, for helping me. I know this was like a lot of work to do. And let's see how much this dragon pepper with every single mutation in the game is now worth. So this one plant is worth 1.7 billion, but if we sell this single plant, it is 1.7 billion, and there we go. I thought it would honestly be a little bit more than that. That is still a lot of money. I mean, we got every mutation on that thing, so thanks, Brighter, for the help. All right, first things first is we're going to spawn in 7 of our mooncats here. All right, and then next up, we're going to spawn in one of our triceratopses. This guy is an age 9 compared to my other 2 that are age 8, so he's a little bit ahead of the other 2, so I'm going to go ahead and spawn him in, and then we're going to go ahead and place our sprinklers here. So I'm going to go ahead and place our Grandmaster Sprinkler, a Master Sprinkler, Godly, Advanced, and Basic, and then I'm going to go ahead and slap down a Sugar Glaze Seed right in that mix, and this should help it get pretty big, plus all of our Mooncats. Now what we can also do is drag this thing over into a bunch of Mooncats to hopefully get the original Sugar Glaze to be pretty big. So let me see, can I move this? All right, I'm going to go ahead and put it in there, and we're just going to let these Mooncats mix in their abilities onto it. All right, that looks pretty good. And then I guess, you know what, since this is growing pretty quick, I can use some more watering cans on it. And then once our Triceratops here is done with this cooldown, it can just go ahead and smack this Sugar Glaze, and we can get the first set of donuts done and see how big they turn out. Let's try to travel this right in between these guys. We need to get as big of a Sugar Glaze as we possibly can. Look, the cat's actually sleeping in the tree. What? All right, I'll put it in this one just to get more bonus points possibly from our Mooncats, and then we're gonna put it right back in our sprinklers here. All right, then finally a couple more watering cans, and this thing should be done growing. I wish I could drag the Mooncats over here. I know a lot of people were telling me to get the pancake so I can have them all focus on a section. I actually did not get the pancake unlocked. I just had the pancake mole. But yeah, that'll be one of the things I focus on unlocking next, so we can always have our Mooncats target one area for our plants. All right, our Triceratops is, oh my, all right, well, it looks like we got a pretty big donut growing in. It looks like everyone's doing their job. Let's see what the Triceratops does to help. All right, kaboom. That was it. That was 33 minutes of growth. All right, so our Sugar Glaze is done growing. Why is it green? I thought it was going to be like a chocolate one, but I guess we got someone's like boogers. All right, well, we're good here with our Triceratopses, so we're going to go ahead and use some sprays here so we can get 5 mutations applied to our Sugar Glaze and then get a butterfly to turn that into rainbow for us. So we're going to go ahead and use one of these honey glaze sprays. We're going to use a pollinated, a chocolate, a shocked, and then we're just going to use a wet just to get another one out of the way. And there we go. We have 5 mutations on our Sugar Glaze here. And actually, I'm gonna go ahead and travel this so it's facing this way. This is the one time a chocolate spray makes something look a little bit better, a little bit more appetizing. All right, but anyways, I'm gonna favorite this real quick just so I don't accidentally pick that up. And then we're gonna go ahead and spawn in 1 queen bee here and a butterfly. So that way our queen bee will cool down our butterfly and convert this thing to rainbow. I'll take all those 5 mutations and convert it to rainbow. And then over here, my main account, I'm going to spawn in a queen bee as well. And then we're going to spawn in my kitsune. So that way, by the time this butterfly over here converts this to rainbow, then our kitsune over here will be ready, and then we can apply chakra or foxfire chakra to our Sugar Glaze. But for now, I do need to unfavorite this so the butterfly can actually convert these mutations, and we gotta wait about like 17 more minutes. Yeah, so I'll be right back. All right, so our queen bee's about done with her cooldown, and she's about to cool down our butterfly, and hopefully our butterfly can take these and apply rainbow quick, because for some reason my queen bee's timer on my main account bugged, and it is now lined up with this account. So it's about to cool down our kitsune over here as soon as this happens. So queen bee, cool down butterfly. Butterfly is now cooled down. Let's get rainbow quick before the kitsune comes. Come on, hurry up, hurry up. All right, we're good. We got it just in time. Our sugar glaze is now rainbow. The kitsune is stealing it, and now we have rainbow and chakra done. All right, I'm gonna get out of his way. It's very bright in my eyes. I can't see anything. All right, so since this is good, we're gonna go ahead and favorite this just so we don't touch it, and we're gonna go and pick up our queen bee and our butterfly, and then let's go ahead and apply some sprays to this thing. So we're gonna reapply that shocked onto there. We're gonna apply pollinated. We're gonna apply fried, honey glazed, burnt, and chocolate. And then over here on my main account, we're going to apply cloud touch, we're going to apply verdant, and we're also going to apply wet, so that way our kappas have an easier time to apply bloodlet to our big sugar glaze here. All right, so that brings us up to 11 mutations on our sugar glaze, so it's looking pretty good here. So first thing I think I'm gonna go ahead and do is plant a carrot seed, and we're gonna put the shocked spray on our carrot seed here. All right, there we go. Our carrot is now shocked, so then I can go ahead and spawn in our Raiju, which will give us a mutation done right off the bat. It will eat this shocked carrot and apply static to our sugar glaze right away, so we get that mutation done and out of the way. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in 2 disco bees as well, so we can work on getting the disco mutation added. We're going to spawn in our tranquil scarlet and our corrupted scarlet. Even though we already have verdant done, since they have tranquil and corrupt, we can get tranquil and corrupt mutations on our big sugar glaze here. All right, so that brings us to 5 pets here. Looks pretty good so far. I'm going to go ahead and spawn in my chicken zombies next, just so we can get zombified done and out of the way. We're gonna go ahead and spawn in a kappa here, so our kappa can attempt to get the sugar glaze bloodlet, and that's good. We have all of our pets ready to go, and now we just have to wait for all of their cooldowns to go by. Okay, our Raiju just charged that carrot and ate it so fast I wasn't even ready for a second there, but he did apply the static mutation onto our sugar glaze here, so that is another mutation done and out of the way. All right, so what I think I'm gonna go ahead and do next is I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in this corrupted kitsune so we can start working on getting a corrupt chakra or corrupt foxfire chakra and add that on to our sugar glaze. All right, and then we're also gonna wait around here because our disco bees are about done with their cooldowns, and hopefully we'll get disco applied right away. Usually they're pretty good about getting us disco. Let's see it. All right, one's going off. All right, easy. That first disco bee there instantly gave us the disco mutation, so we're getting some good mutations done. All right, so since that is good and out of the way, let's see. I think I'm going to spawn in another kappa to assist getting this thing to turn bloodlet, and then I guess, let me see what else I have in here. We don't really need our cooked owls today because we did get burnt on it already and fried. All right, I guess really the only other pet we need at the moment will be the pterodactyls. So I'm going to spawn one in here, and then I think what I'll do is whenever our pterodactyl here is about to be done with his cooldown, we're just gonna grow a bunch of carrots back here like last second, so that way he can try to apply tempestuous to one of these. So in case he doesn't get tempestuous on the first try on our sugar glaze, all hope won't be lost. We can get it on a carrot and then just use a Spinosaurus to move it over. All right, let's go. One of our chicken zombies just applied the zombified mutation onto our sugar glaze, so that's another mutation done. We move these chicken zombies out of the way. They've done their job. All right, so next up is our pterodactyl. His cooldown is about done, so I'm going to quickly place a couple of these carrot seeds down just to see if we can stack up and maybe get tempestuous on one of these. All right, so let's see if our pterodactyl gives us tempestuous. It'd be nice if he could just give it to us directly on the sugar glaze, but if not, we'll use a Spinosaurus to move over mutations later onto this. All right, let's see it. He went all carrot mode. He didn't even go for the sugar glaze, but one of them did get tempestuous right here, so let me go ahead and favorite this real quick, and then I'm going to pick up the rest of these. All right, there we go. So tempestuous is on this carrot, which means our pterodactyl did do his job. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick him up. He is good to go. And I guess we'll go ahead and unfavorite the carrot, and then we're gonna put down a Spinosaurus. So this guy will be able to eat the carrot and then move it over to our sugar glaze. Okay, so I knew something felt like it was missing, like I didn't do one of our pets that we normally do by now. And you know what? There is something missing, which is our spaghetti sloth. We gotta get this guy to spawn in so he can give us sauce, pasta, and meatballs so we can get the spaghetti mutation added onto our sugar glaze. I don't know how good a spaghetti sugar glazed donut would taste, but our spaghetti sloth sure thinks it would be good. All right, so we have quite a bit of stuff about to happen. So first off, our Spinosaurus here is going to eat from our carrot, and hopefully it'll just move Tempestuous over right away. Let's see. Let's see which mutation it eats. Okay, well, it ate wet, which we didn't need, so good thing we have our other Spinosaurus as backup for right now. So we're just gonna wait for that to happen. And then also, hopefully, our Corrupt Scarlet here will apply the Corrupt mutation to our Sugar Glaze. But it is nighttime now, so we should be able to get Moonlit, and hopefully after we'll get a Celestial event, so we can get Celestial added to our Sugar Glaze. But anyways, there we go. That Spinosaurus has officially added Tempestuous over to our Sugar Glaze, so we can go ahead and pick up our Spinosauruses for now, since we don't really need them to move anything else over. I'm gonna pick up that carrot, and then we just gotta wait for these guys to apply their mutations to our Sugar Glaze here. So let's see. Hopefully the Corrupt Scarlet does corrupt. Come on, please, get it done. It failed. Okay, well, we're not gonna get that one done yet, I guess. But we are gonna get Moonlit done. So there we go. We now have Moonlit added to our Sugar Glaze here and Tempestuous. So that's another 2 mutations done and out of the way. All right, Corrupted Kitsune, please give us your mutation. Please. There we go. Corrupted Kitsune applied Corrupt Chakra to the Sugar Glaze. So he is done and out of the way. And now we have Harmonized Chakra added onto this thing. All right, our Spaghetti Sloth is doing something. Let's see what mutation he adds to our Sugar Glaze first. He's pretty much a guaranteed pet to give us mutations. So let's see what the first one we get is. All right, we have Sauce added to our Sugar Glaze now. So that is good to see. And once he applies his other 2, we'll have the full Spaghetti mutation done. All right, our Spaghetti Sloth is heading over to hopefully apply the next mutation that we need. Hopefully it's not the same one. All right, there we go. So we got Meatball added to Sugar Glaze. So now we have Sauce and Meatball on our Sugar Glaze here. As you can see, here's Sauce, here's Meatball. So once he adds Pasta, those will all turn into Spaghetti. Oh, wow. For the first time, I think, in one of these videos, we're actually getting an Aurora event. I mean, I guess we used to get events like this all the time, and I think we had the Aurora before when Brighter would do all the admin events. And it's ending. Well, no Aurora mutation. I guess I'll trowel this back. Okay, well, I literally just got back from being AFK, and I just came back to the Spaghetti Sloth applying Pasta to our Sugar Glaze here. So let's go ahead and take a look if anything else happened. All right, so yeah, now we have Spaghetti, because we had all 3 of the Spaghetti Sloth mutations applied. It still looks like we did not get Corrupt while I was AFK, so we still have to wait for Corrupt to be applied, and we still have to wait for Bloodlet to get applied. But our Spaghetti Sloth is at least done. All right, so finally we got another mutation done. Our Scarlet finally applied the Corrupt mutation onto our Sugar Glaze. We can go ahead and pick him up. And now we have Corrupt added onto here and Tranquil. So we have those 2 done. It's pretty much only up to our Kappas now to try and get Bloodlet. I always spawn these guys in first, and then they literally struggle the entire time to convert Wet to Bloodlet. But hopefully they do that, and then once they get this thing Bloodlet, or hopefully get it Bloodlet, we'll then apply Wet again, and then convert Wet over to Frozen. All right, well, big rip. We've been waiting for our Kappas to give us Bloodlet for like 2 or 3 hours now, and they haven't. And then we got a Frost event, so this thing is frozen, and we can't get Bloodlet now. All right, well, we didn't get Bloodlet today, but we did get Frozen. I wanted to get Frozen and Bloodlet, though, but, you know, sometimes you can never win at these things. And then, yeah, it's also been hours, and we haven't had any other events happen. We have our Raptor spawned in, so we're going to try to pick up our Sugar Glaze and get Amber applied. But in total, we do have 19 mutations, and if you spread some of these out, like Tempestuous, we would have 20. Spaghetti, we would have 22. And Harmonized Chakra would bring us to 24 mutations. So if we get Amber, that'll be 25. Without further ado, let's go ahead and pick this thing up. Oh, look at that. We actually did get Amber. So yeah, this thing technically has 20 mutations on it, or 25. It, for some reason, shrunk in size when I picked it up. Sometimes the big plants do that. The donut, maybe just for holding purposes it did that, but hopefully it didn't actually break the size of it and then it's gonna break the value. I don't know, but we'll give it a shot. So thanks to our raptors for helping us out. All right, well, without further ado, I'm gonna check the value of this thing with Steven. Hopefully it's still good. I don't know if the size actually went down or if it's just a visual bug like it used to be, but we're gonna go ahead and check with Steven and see how much our sugar glazed donut is worth. So Steven, what would you give me for this thing today? Okay, yeah, I think the size stayed the same because this is worth 209 billion, which is actually really good for missing some of the mutations like paradisal and also ceramic. If we did get all of the admin mutations on this thing, I think it would have been close to 1 trillion or even passing 1 trillion, and we could have even gotten it bigger. But yeah, this is actually a pretty good price for the sugar glazed donut, and I'm actually pretty happy with it. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and spawn in some mooncats here. So we got 8 mooncats that we can spawn in, so we can start getting progress on getting a big, beautiful maple apple tree. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and place all of our sprinklers down here. So we're gonna get a master, godly, advanced, and basic, and then we're gonna put our maple apple right in there. And look at that, it's all rainbowy up here, so it looks like we might have a pretty big tree. To save some time, we're gonna go ahead and hit that grow all button on my main account. And oh, look at this, we got a sandstorm, so we might as well hurry up and do this. All right, we're in, and there we go. We have some maple apples. Now, these don't look very big. This one looks decent, but some of these don't look as big as I thought we might be able to get this. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these, and I guess we'll give it a look and see how they regrow. But I'm gonna go ahead and put some more sprinklers down, and we're gonna try to get this thing to grow a little bit better. We want these mooncats to hopefully affect this as much as possible. We want to get a big maple apple. Now, we do have a pretty decent sized one here, but I think we could do better than that. I think we could definitely get a bigger one to show up. All right, we have a lot of mooncats right here. I think what I'll do is I'll trowel this into the sleeping mooncats if they all pile in a certain area. Let me move that into that circle. All right, yeah, they're kind of all piling around in different spots. They're not like just in one area. Okay, let me try right here in between these two, or actually maybe even right here because there's a few of them right here. All right, and hopefully that helps. All right, I'm gonna hit the grow all button again just to see if anything changes, see if we get any big ones. So let's just YOLO it. Let's see what we get. Okay, that's better. That's definitely better. That's this one is pretty big. All right, so we can go ahead and pick up these other ones then. Yeah, look at this. We thought this was gonna be decent. I think this one's a lot better. Dude, what is going on? We're getting all these events, but we're not ready yet. We still gotta get this thing rainbow. All right, we're gonna pick up all of our mooncats. We're gonna try and go through this quick. So let's go ahead and get our sprays done. Actually, let's go ahead and get that queen bee ready to get the cooldowns ready. Let's get the butterfly ready to get that cooldown ready, and then let's get these sprays done on our maple apple. So we're gonna go ahead and put pollinated on this. We're gonna put chocolate on that. We're gonna put a cloud touched, shocked, and then we will do honey glazed with the honey sprinkler. And there we go. That will be our 5 mutations. All right, so I was stupid and accidentally picked up my queen bee, so I've been sitting here waiting for my butterfly, but to speed this up, I guess, a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and give my butterfly this toy, which will speed up the cooldown, and now our butterfly will give us rainbow. So it's like the same thing, but yeah, you won't notice any difference here, but yeah, I had to wait a little bit longer because I'm stupid and dumb. All right, so just like that, our maple apple is now rainbow, so we can go ahead and pick up that butterfly. We're good, we have this mutation done. All right, so now we can go ahead and apply our sprays to this thing again. So we're gonna put our chocolate back on it, pollinated, shocked, cloud touch. We're gonna go ahead and put our honey sprinkler back down to get honey glaze back onto it, and then on our main account we're going to apply amber onto it. I did that from over there. I got snipes, I guess. But now amber's back onto it. Now my main account has some chilled sprays we're gonna use, but we're gonna wait on that because we're gonna try to get this thing to get ceramic first. So to do that, we need wet and then sandy to get clay, and then we'll need to get sun-dried to turn that into ceramic. So we're gonna wait a little bit, and we're going to not apply the chill just yet. We're gonna do frozen after we get ceramic. So now we're gonna start focusing on the rest and applying some more with our pets. So I have some disco bees here. Now I know people are gonna be like, Bandites, you can just use the new disco spray. Well, there's no spray merchant, and I don't have the disco spray, okay? So I'm gonna be using disco bees to hopefully get us disco mutation on our maple apple, and then I'm gonna be using the cooked owls, same thing here, to hopefully get burnt or cooked since I don't have those sprays as well. We're gonna go ahead and use some chicken zombies, and then we're going to spawn in 1 scarlet. Actually, we're gonna hold off on the scarlet for now and not get verdant on this just yet, because we're gonna try to get ceramic first, and if we have verdant, that sun-dried will just convert to paradisal. So we're gonna wait on this guy, but we are going to spawn in 2 sea turtles so we can get this maple apple, the wet mutation. And after we get the wet mutation, that should help us get this turned to clay. And then, yeah, we could go through that getting ceramic. Our luck today is a little bit better than it's been the last few videos. We have another Aurora happening. So hopefully we can get the Aurora mutation on our maple apple. Oh, look at that. Just like that, the sea turtle already applied wet to our maple apple. So that's quick and easy. We can go ahead and pick up these guys then. And I guess we'll spawn in another disco bee and another, I guess we'll do another chicken zombie for the time being. Oh, I just saw something happen. Did we get it? Oh, let's go. We got Aurora. All right, this is actually going a lot better today than it has been. I think the update of increasing the events really helped. So we are up to 9 mutations on our maple apple, including Aurora, which is awesome. We're going to wait for these pet mutations to hopefully take effect. We got our disco bees and our cooked owls that will be applying some mutations soon. All right, our disco bees always seem to be the first pet to apply their mutations, but anyways, let me go ahead and unfavorite this real quick. But as you can see, we now have the disco mutation on our maple apple, so it's starting to look pretty good. What I'm going to go ahead and do now is pick up these disco bees carefully without picking anything else up, as I've done in the past, as we all know now. And I'm going to go ahead and spawn in another cooked owl or 2. Let's see, I guess I'll do another cooked owl, and I will spawn in another chicken zombie, so hopefully we can get these 2 mutations done. And then we just really got to get verdant after that, but we're going to wait for verdant just for a little bit. We want to wait until we get this thing, hopefully ceramic first, and then we'll focus on paradisal. All right, so we have some of our cooked owls here that are about to finish their cooldowns, which is good. And with that, we also have a Zen event about to start. Oh, well, they're targeting the big one, but they're failing. What about the other one? Targeted the big one, but fail. Okay, that's very sad. Our chicken zombies are almost cooled down as well. At least 2 of them are almost done. And then we have another one that'll be done in a few minutes. And we're gonna see the Zen Aura event happen in a second, which will help us get Tranquil on our maple apple here, which will be another mutation added on. All right, so we got our first little Tranquil beam coming over here. Let's see which one it hits first. All right, there we go. Our big one is mutated to Tranquil, so that's a really easy one to get, and that's just some extra multiplier for us to work with. Oh, let's go. Thank you, cooked owls. You guys, I love you so much. You're so nice to me today. All right, well, there we go. Now we have burnt on our big maple apple here, so we're stacking up some good mutations. I'm going to go ahead and pick up these cooked owls now then. Get these guys out of the way. We have another chicken zombie almost ready, so hopefully he does what the cooked owls did in target. I'm going to spawn in another chicken zombie, and we'll spawn in a mimic octopus to mimic those guys to give us even more opportunities. All right, we have a windy event, which I was hoping for, and I'm going to go ahead and travel our plant, I guess, over here, because for some reason, these corners over here always help get windstruck on our plants faster. Okay, the event ended. Let's see if we got any windstruck added. Oh, we did. Dude, I don't know why this corner is blessed right here. If you need windstruck, move your plants like right here. It seems to always work to get us windstruck. All right. I forgot that they re-added frost into the game, which if we get chilled, which because our plant is already wet, we might get it frozen, which we don't want right now, which is going to be very unfortunate. We have wet, and I probably should have waited. I completely forgot that they re-added frost. The only reason I added wet was in case a sandstorm came by, we could have gotten sandy, which would have made this turn instantly to clay. But I didn't count the fact that if a frost storm comes by, we can get frozen. We don't want frozen yet, because once we get frozen, we pretty much, I don't think, can get ceramic. Actually, you know what? We probably can. I think if we get sandy, we could apply wet again. So this actually isn't the end of the world. It would just get us frozen earlier, which we didn't really want yet. All right, well, yeah, we now have frozen on our maple apple. Honestly, that is fine. We'll just keep frozen on there. Either way, we can still get ceramic, I believe. We just have to wait for a sandstorm now, and once this is sandy, we can add wet to it to get clay. Okay, it looks like one of our chicken zombies just applied zombified to our maple apple. Yep, there it is. We are good, which means we pretty much have every pet mutation done. We still gotta wait for twisted, which is technically a pet mutation now, I guess. But that will get this thing to tempestuous. And then once we have that, we also need to get verdant, which is also a spray or a pet mutation. right, so I have literally been in a Discord call with one of my friends for like 6 hours talking, waiting for more mutations to get applied. We did end up getting moonlit to this, but we had a sandstorm twice and did not get sandy. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and just apply scarlet to this maple apple so we can get verdant on it. So I'm gonna spawn in 3 scarlets and a mimic octopus just so we can make sure we get that verdant mutation, and that will turn sun-dried into paradisal. So there we go, we have all these pets set, and some of them actually have some of our buffs still added onto them. And while they focus on getting that sun-dried to turn into paradisal, over here on my main account, shout out to my friend Cole or Azook, he actually is letting me borrow his kitsune for this video so I can try to get chakra and foxfire chakra on my maple apple. And if I can get those two, that should be some extra good mutation buffs. So I have a queen bee spawned in my main account garden in there, and I'm gonna go ahead and use that queen bee with the kitsune to see if I can get both foxfire and regular chakra on my plant. So apparently the kitsune actually applies it to your plant and then it steals it and gives it to your other account. So I should be able to get 2 of these maple apples with all these mutations on it, and it should be pretty good overall. Okay, well, it looks like we were about to finally wrap things up here, and we finally got Sandy applied to our maple apple after literally hours and multiple sandstorm events. So we technically could get this up to ceramic now, but I don't know if I really want to wait around for another heat wave event to happen, because I have been at this for like 8 hours today trying to get this one to be good for you guys. So I think we're just going to keep Sandy, that way we have that mutation on there, and then if we can get foxfire chakra and regular chakra, that should make up for that ceramic mutation, and at least we still have Sandy on it. All right, my main account's kitsune is coming over here to attack our maple apple. Okay, and it says kitsune applied chakra, so it looks like my main account is getting one of these, and let's just go ahead and check. Yeah, there we go. Now we have chakra on this. We did not get foxfire chakra, but we do have the regular chakra on this, and in total we do have 18 mutations on our maple apple. We could turn this Sandy into ceramic, we could have turned this windstruck into tempestuous, and we could also get foxfire chakra and celestial. So there's a few things that we could have combined for better mutation chances, and it would have really helped us in the end to get a little bit more money value out of this. But overall, I think this is a pretty good maple apple, and I'm very happy with it with how many mutations we actually got today. Let's go ahead though and pick up our maple apple and check the value. All right, so here it is. Here's our big maple apple with all of these mutations on it. It looks insane with all the electricity and everything on it. I'm gonna go ahead and favorite it as well, just so I don't accidentally ever sell it. And we're gonna check with Steven. So Steven, what is the value of our maple apple with all 18 of these mutations on it? This maple apple is worth 197 billion, and I can only imagine that this would have been past 400 billion or so if we were actually got Celestial, Foxfire, Chakra, and a couple of those other mutations mixed together. With those admin mutations, I think this would have been very, very good, but for that many mutations on it, that is still pretty good. I do wish our maple apple was a little bit bigger, but overall, I'm very happy with that price. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in 7 mooncats here instead of the 8 that we used to do, because we're going to throw in a Triceratops, because this guy will speed up the growth of our plant and then also help us get a huge plant combined with the mooncats. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and place our sprinklers down next. So we do have this new Grand Master sprinkler, and this should give us some pretty fast growth and some good mutations and all sorts of good stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and place this OP Grand Master sprinkler down. It covers almost the entire garden. We're gonna put a Master sprinkler underneath that. Then we're gonna put our Godly sprinkler in there, Advanced sprinkler, and then our Basic sprinkler. And within all that, we're gonna put our Grand Tomato plant down. So our Grand Tomato plant is now growing. We have some mooncats on it, and then our Triceratops should target it and make it grow a lot faster, and we should hopefully get a pretty big Grand Tomatoes. I'm gonna water it just a little bit more just to keep it sprouting up a little bit faster. There we go. It's at 10% now, 11. I'm gonna quickly trowel this over here in between these mooncats. Wow, this thing is going to be big. That only went up another 10%. This is crazy. Oh, okay, that Triceratops just hit it, and now it's actually at 96%. So whenever this next one hits it, we might get our first sets of tomatoes to actually grow in. All right, it's fully grown now. So now our Grand Tomato plant is done, and it's fully grown in. Now we just gotta wait for the fruits. Now our next Triceratops right here is about to smack it, so we'll see if it gets us some pretty big fruits. Oh my, okay. Those are pretty big tomatoes. All right, our grand tomatoes are now fully grown in, and it looks like our gold one here is going to be the biggest one. From what I can tell, that one has 7.5 studs going across the top, and then this one only has, like we said, 7, and then this one's only about 6. So yeah, I think we have our winner here, which is this gold one. So I'm gonna go ahead and favorite that. We're gonna pick up the other ones that are in here. All right, well, we do have gold on it, but gold does not count towards getting rainbow, and we do need 5 mutations total, but gold is not even considered 1 when we're trying to get rainbow with the butterfly. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're going to apply pollinated to it. I guess we'll apply wet to it because that's like a free one there. Shock, chocolate, and then I also have this extra windstruck spray, which you don't really need because I have pterodactyls, so I'm gonna go ahead and spray that. And there we go, we have 5 mutations that we can use now, and we're going to spawn in a queen bee and a butterfly. So the queen bee's cooldown is about 7 minutes shorter than the butterflies. The queen bee will cool down our butterfly, convert all these mutations to rainbow, and then we can start getting the other mutations. All right, and then over here on my main account, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my queen bee and my kitsune. They were spawned in, but I have to reset the timer, so then they line up with our grand tomato after it gets rainbow, and that way this will be a little bit closer in sync, so once we get rainbow on it, we can get chakra applied right away. All right, well, we have about 2 minutes left for our queen bee's cooldown to be done to convert our grand tomato here to rainbow, but we just got a nighttime event, so I'm really hoping that these 2 minutes go fast and that we can get this thing to rainbow, so then we can get our grand tomato to turn moonlit. That way we don't have to wait around for our tanukis to give us moonlit or for another night event. All right, our queen bee's cooldown is done. Our butterfly is now being cooled down, and we will take 5 of these mutations, well, pretty much all of them at this point, and then we'll turn our grand tomato into rainbow. There we go. Our grand tomato, which is huge by the way, is now rainbow, so we can go ahead and pick up our butterfly, pick up our queen bee. Oh, there we go. Perfect. We got moonlit added to our grand tomato right away, so I'm gonna go ahead and favorite this now so I don't accidentally pick it up. Let's go down our sprays. We're gonna go ahead and apply shock to this. Pollinated. We're gonna go ahead and apply wet as well, so we can use our kappas to turn that to bloodlet. We're going to apply chocolate. Then we're also going to apply a honey sprinkler so we can get honey glazed. And our kitsune just stole it from my main account, so that should have applied chakra. So real quick, let's go ahead and check everything that we have here. So we have 8 mutations. I'm going to favorite that again real quick. And then on my main account, I'm going to apply the verdant spray mutation and cloud touched. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in first 2 disco bees so we can try to get disco applied to it. We're gonna spawn in 1 pterodactyl so we can go ahead and get windstruck and hopefully twisted so we can get tempestuous. Go ahead and spawn in for now just 1 kappa to try to get this to turn bloodlit. We'll spawn in 1 cooked owl for cooked or burnt. We'll spawn in 1 chicken zombie for now for the zombified mutation. We'll also go ahead and spawn in our corrupted kitsune so we can get corrupted chakra, turn that into harmonized chakra. And then I guess finally we'll spawn in 1 of our scarlets for now. We do have verdant, but we do have a tranquil scarlet and a corrupted scarlet, so we need to try to get tranquil and corrupted. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in our tranquil scarlet here. Now we're up to 8 pets, so we have lots of mutations that we can look forward to getting, and now we just gotta wait around for them to do their things and for events to happen, and then we can start stacking up mutations on our grand tomato. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and use some of my toys here to boost some of our pets' cooldowns and also give us higher chances to get some of these mutations. So we're gonna go ahead and boost the corrupted kitsune to hopefully get corrupted foxfire chakra. Let's see. Okay, we only got 1 corrupt chakra. I don't even think he applied it to our big one. Yeah, no, all right, so we're still gonna have to wait for that, but that's fine. All right, let's go ahead and use this on our pterodactyl to try to get twisted done. Okay, we only got windstruck. We did not get tempestuous. We did not get twisted mixed with windstruck. Eventually, I can use our pterodactyl again and try to get our pterodactyl to apply tempestuous to like a carrot or something, and then use a T-Rex to eat it and then spread it to our grand tomato here. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up our pterodactyl. For now, I am gonna use a Raiju here to get static applied to our grand tomato. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do for that is I'm gonna go ahead and put a carrot down right here. We're going to apply shocked to it. And then we're going to spawn in our Raiju. So he will eat this shocked carrot and then apply static to our grand tomato here. Oh, and I almost forgot, but to save some time here, since we did get corrupt chakra on 1 of our grand tomatoes, I am going to go ahead and pick up our corrupt kitsune here, and we're going to replace him with a Spinosaurus so we can work on getting that corrupt chakra moved over. And that way, if any of our other pets get mutations applied to these smaller grand tomatoes, they should be able to just move it right over. All right, our Raiju is running over to eat the shocked off this carrot, and then he's going to convert that to static and apply it to our grand tomatoes. There we go. The big one is instantly converted to static. That's good. So we don't have to use a Spinosaurus to move that over. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up this Raiju. And now we're going to introduce the new pet, which is the Spaghetti Sloth. And again, the Spaghetti Sloth every 14 minutes will go to a nearby fruit and does a cooking. And it will apply pasta, sauce, or meatball mutation. So we could probably get all three of these and actually get them all to our Grand Tomato, as they'll probably apply it to the smaller Grand Tomatoes. So we should be able to get 3 extra mutations on our Grand Tomato. All right, so let's go ahead and also use these medium toys here to see if our disco bees will apply disco. Okay, we got 1 to apply disco. Since this big guy here is favorited, I'm going to pick up these 2 disco bees and I'm going to spawn in another Spinosaurus so that way they can move those over. And that looks good for now. So I'm going to go ahead and wait for these guys to apply their mutations. I'm going to go AFK for a little bit while they do their work. And once we come back, we'll see what has happened. Alright, so I just got back and it looks like our Spinosauruses moved that corrupted chakra over, so now we have harmonized chakra, but that looks like that's the only thing that happened when we were gone. Now we do have some other Grand Tomatoes that have grown in here. One is static. I can't really tell what these ones are. I know this one has disco on it, and this one seems to have tranquil on it. Oh, okay, so Kappa just used its conversion to make one of these Grand Tomatoes bloodlit, and we do have Tranquil on this Grand Tomato, so we can get those moved over. So, and we also did just get zombified on one of these Grand Tomatoes as well, so we can go ahead and get rid of our chicken zombies here, and we can go ahead and get rid of our Tranquil Scarlet and our Kappa, and then what we're going to go ahead and do after that is we're going to go ahead and spawn in our Corrupted Scarlet so we can get the Corrupt mutation done. Alright, so I went ahead and used my main account to grow all of my Grand Tomatoes here, just so I can see what mutations we have. So yeah, we have quite a few on these Grand Tomatoes that we need to move over. This one doesn't have anything that we need, so I guess I can get rid of this static Grand Tomato up here. But these other 2, we have quite a few here. This one, we actually need everything on it to be moved over to our big Grand Tomato. We have Bloodlet, Disco, Meatball, and Pasta. We do need to get Sauce. That's the last one. And then we also have Zombified on this one. And then this one, we have Tranquil on it, which is pretty much the only one we need from that one. But in the meantime, we also need to wait for these polar bears to give us Chilled, so we can get that moved over to our big Grand Tomato, get that frozen. Alright, we did just get Chilled though, applied to Grand Tomato. So yeah, now literally everything on this Grand Tomato here needs to just get moved over to our big one. Alright, let's see what our Spinosaurus eats and moves over. Okay, we got Chilled and static. We didn't really need static again, but that's fine because now our big Grand Tomato here is frozen. And when our next Spinosaurus eats, we should be able to get Tranquil done and then one of these good mutations off of this. Alright, so I just got back and it looks like we did get Corrupt from our Scarlet, so that is awesome because usually that takes forever. So Corrupt is done. We're going to go ahead and pick up our Corrupted Scarlet then. And then we also looks like we got burnt on our Grand Tomato here, so we still need to wait for this Corrupt, this Bloodlet, Burnt, and Pasta to move over to our big Grand Tomato. But we did get Zombified moved over and we did get Meatball moved over. And then I guess the last thing we'll need to do is just make sure we can get Tempestuous done. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do now to try and get Tempestuous going is I'm going to plant the rest of these carrot seeds I have, and I'm going to spawn in some pterodactyls again and try to get Tempestuous on one of these carrots or on one of these Grand Tomatoes. So once we have Tempestuous, we can have our Spinosauruses move that over to our big Grand Tomato, and then we should pretty much be done with all the pet mutations. All right, let's see what our Spinosaurus converts over. Okay, we got Bloodlet, we already had Windstruck, and we already had Meatball, but we did get Bloodlet moved over to our big Grand Tomato. So now we just have to get Corrupt moved over, and then we have to get Burnt and Pasta moved over. But we're making some good progress. Our Pterodactyls will hopefully give us Tempestuous, so we can get that done and out of the way. We also have our Sloth here, who's hopefully going to apply Sauce. Can we get that Sauce done, please? So I don't know what happened in this area of the video, but I guess some of my footage did not get recorded, and my microphone was also muted. But pretty much what happened is my Spinosauruses did move over Burnt and Corrupt to the Grand Tomato, and then we also got Tempestuous from our Pterodactyl on this carrot. So I was trying to explain that we're going to wait for my Spinosaurus to move that over to the Grand Tomato. All right, so I just got back from being AFK, and we did get our tempestuous moved over, but it looks like we still have not gotten sauce. Oh, we do have sauce on this grand tomato up here. So once this one is moved over, then we'll have all the pet mutations done. So I guess in the meantime, since we have everything else moved over, I'm going to grab these 2 grand tomatoes here. And then we'll leave the sauce one and we'll get that moved over to our big grand tomato. Editing Bandites here again. Sorry to butt in. But for some reason, I guess besides my recording not working fully, my brain was also not working because I already had sauce applied to my grand tomato. As you can see, I have the spaghetti mutation already done, which is sauce, pasta, and meatballs. So I don't know why I didn't realize that. And I don't know why I sat here waiting for sauce to get moved over. I don't know what was going on in my head. And there we go. We now have sauce on our grand tomato, which is all of our pet mutations done. So yeah, it looks like if you get all 3 of the spaghetti sloth mutations, it just converts to spaghetti, which is pretty cool. But in total, we have 19 mutations. But if we separate some of these, like tempestuous, we'd have 20. Spaghetti would have about 23. Frozen would put us at 24. Harmonized chakra would put us at 25. And that would be 25 total mutations on a grand tomato. And since we've been at this for a couple hours, I think it's been about 3 or 4 hours since I started this, we are just going to go ahead and pick up our grand tomato and try and see what we can get for all of these mutations on it. I'm hoping that we can get a good value with Steven today. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up our grand tomato here with all these mutations. Look how big this thing is too. This thing is humongous. So I think this should be worth quite a lot of money. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and walk over here to Steven and we're going to check the value of our grand tomato. So what are we looking at today, Steven, with this grand tomato, which is technically has like 25 mutations on it? Okay, so this thing is worth 330 billion for this size in all of those mutations. I thought it might be a little bit more, like past the 500 billion mark, but that is still pretty good. I mean, look at this thing. This is humongous. All right, so we're gonna start out, of course, with all of our moon cats like we normally do. All right, so what I'm gonna go ahead and do is stack some sprinklers like right here. We're gonna do all of our sprinklers, master, godly, basic, and advanced, of course. But then we're gonna go ahead and place our mushrooms close to this group of sprinklers to hopefully have the effects be applied to them. There's not a lot of room to work with here, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, all of our moon cats are sleeping, but they're like not in range of our mushroom. Oh wow, they're like all over here. I guess what I'll do is I'll quickly try and place them in this group of moon cats to see if that will take effect on any of them, and then I'm gonna go ahead and place some more sprinklers right in this stash here. All right, now it's just a waiting game to see which mushrooms become the biggest out of all these, and then I guess we'll pick our mushroom. I don't really know how big the mushrooms can get. I don't think they can get as big as some other fruits in this game, but we're gonna go ahead and wait this out and see which one becomes the biggest, I guess. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and kind of compare some mushrooms here to get the top weighted one. I don't know if it matters if the mushroom is bigger like this. I'm not sure which one will actually affect the weight. So I guess what I'm gonna go ahead and do is there's this taller one right here, and I'm gonna compare it to one of these ones that have a bigger base to it. So I guess this like orange one in here will be a good choice. All right, let's see. Can I grab this one specifically? Yep. All right, we got that one. And then I'm gonna compare it to one of these because this one's a pretty wide one. So I'm gonna pick up these smaller ones carefully. All right, I'm gonna pick up this one, and then that will be a good comparison here. All right, so this one's 33 compared to this one that's a little bit taller. It's 30. So yeah, it looks like the width matters more for the price. And this one I think is our widest one, so I think we're gonna go with this one. It's not as big as I was hoping, but it's the biggest one I think in weight that we got. So this one will be our mushroom that we try to get every mutation on today. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply our 5 mutations on this thing so we can go ahead and get it to rainbow. And actually right before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and get our queen bee ready and our butterfly ready, just so their cooldowns can start. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and add shocked to this. I'm gonna add pollinated. I'm going to add chocolate. We'll use a honey sprinkler. We're gonna add a cloud touch mutation onto this just so we have that 5th mutation. And just like that, it should update. We are good. We now have 5 mutations on our mushroom. And once this queen bee cools down, it will cool down our butterfly. And then this mushroom will turn into a rainbow mushroom. Okay, so this may or may not be good timing. We have about 1 minute left for our queen bee to cool down our butterfly and get this thing rainbow. And within that, we do have a heat wave event. So I'm hoping that this heat wave stays so we can get this thing rainbow. We can instantly get sun-dried applied to it. Because as you see, we just got sun-dried, but we got to get rainbow before we're supposed to get sun-dried. So I need this queen bee to hurry up so we can get sun-dried done and out of the way, like right now. I'm going to go ahead and also make sure I have some more tanning mirrors right next to this thing. All right, there we go. The butterfly is now cooled down from the queen bee and is about to apply rainbow, and hopefully this event does not end in like 2 seconds. All right, there we go. Our mushroom should now be rainbow, which it is, and now we just got to get a heat wave to hit one of these tanning mirrors so we can make sure that this thing gets sun-dried back. Please. There we go, and perfect. We made it. We made it. We got sun-dried applied back onto our rainbow mushroom. We're good. We have 2 of those mutations done. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pick up our queen bee and our butterfly. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is reapply the chocolate mutation onto here with shocked, pollinated, and a honey sprinkler to get us honey glaze, just like we did at the start. All right, there we go. And then on our main account, we're going to apply the amber mutation and also the cloud touch mutation. Now, I do have the chilled spray right here, but we're not going to do chilled just yet because we're going to try and work on ceramic first. So in the meantime, I'm going to have my main account leave, and hopefully we can get this thing to ceramic before we have our main account rejoin. Otherwise, we'll just go straight for frozen. All right, but just like that, our mushroom is looking pretty good. We are up to 8 mutations on it, and to go ahead and add to the fun of this, we're going to go ahead and start spawning in all of our pets. So we're going to get our disco beast to get that disco mutation applied. We're going to use our chicken zombies to get that zombified mutation applied. 2 cooked owls to get either cooked or burnt applied. And then we're going to do 1 scarlet, but we're also going to do 1 mimic octopus, just so that way we can hopefully get a 100% chance to get one of these other mutations. Oh, you know what? Actually, before I use this bird to get verdant and then turn sun-dried into paradisal, I want this sun-dried to go to ceramic before it goes to paradisal. So I'm going to actually go ahead and pick up our scarlet for now. And I am going to go ahead and use our sea turtle because thinking about it, I do need to get wet on this anyways in order to get this thing clay. So I'm going to see if this event gives us wet or if our sea turtle gives us wet. And as long as we get one of the 2, I think we're good. And then we just got to wait for a sandstorm to pass through. All right, usually the disco bees come in clutch. Let's see if that's true for today. 1 disco bee's going off. Zephy? Let's go, dude. The disco bees, they just know their game, man. Look at that. We already got disco applied to the mushroom. All right, so I'm going to go ahead then and pick up this other disco bee. And I guess in the meantime, we'll just get some more sea turtles just to get this thing wet quickly because we really want to get that clay done and then this thing can turn to ceramic. Okay, our sea turtle just applied wet to the mushroom, which is perfect timing because I got to pick these guys up quick because our mimic octopus is about to mimic one of our other pets. So now we can either get cooked or burnt, or we'll be able to get zombified pretty much instantly with the mimic octopus. So let's see which one he decides to mimic. Okay, he's doing something. We'll see it. Okay, well, I thought the mimic octopus was a 100%, but he literally just failed. So I guess the mimic octopus is not a 100%. It can still fail, and I guess it just picks up on the rates of what your other pet's chances are. So I guess that makes sense. I think if it was a 100% success rate every time, it would be a little broken. All right, cooked owl applied burnt to mushroom. We now have burnt on our mushroom. Thank you, cooked owl. I wonder if one day we'll actually get the cooked mutation instead of burnt. It seems to be very, very rare. Oh, and chicken zombie applied zombified. So you know what? For once in my life, maybe I won't be so sad. And besides that, we could get verdant, but we're just gonna wait that one out until we can get that sun dry to turn into ceramic. I don't want to mess with that. I want to try to get ceramic first this time because that's the one we'd be struggling on. All right, so we have a windy event going on, so we can hopefully get this mushroom windstruck added onto it since our dino eggs are still needing a lifetime to open. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to try to travel this mushroom to the front of my garden here because for some reason, and other people noticed this too, I saw in the comments that whenever you move the mushroom to the front of the garden, for some reason you usually get windstruck a lot easier when it's up here. Now maybe we're all just tripping, but I don't know. It seems to work for me in the past and it seems like it works for other people. So hopefully this helps. Yeah, that didn't do anything. All right, we have another windy event coming through, so we're blessed again. Hopefully we can get windstruck done. This one should be easy, but for some reason it's very hit or miss for us. Okay, the event just ended. Let's see. Okay, we got windstruck. Let's go, dude. Maybe this corner is the blessed corner, but windstruck is added. Now we just gotta hope that we get a sandstorm soon and a tornado twisted event. right, so I have been AFKing on and off, and it's been like 3 hours. And of course, when I went AFK this last time, there was a tornado, there was a moon event, and there was another heat wave. So I think the game just doesn't like me, and it thought that I left for good. So then it started doing stuff. Looking back at the clips, the tornado literally was like on our mushroom, but it did not convert our windstruck. It did not give us twisted because our windstruck did not mix and convert to the tempestuous. Oh, but hold on. Wait a minute, this is perfect timing. We just got another tornado event to start. Okay, well, I'm gonna try and get our mushroom here to get twisted on it so we can get that to mix in and give us that mutation. However, AFKing though, we have not gotten one sandstorm, and it's been like hours and hours and hours of doing this. Oh, there's 2 tornadoes on this. Hold on. But the fact that there hasn't been a sandstorm within like the 3 or 4 hours I've been recording this video, I don't know if it's gonna be possible today to get ceramic. We just need sandy in order to, we have everything else, we're ready. Oh, and there we go, we did just get tempestuous, so we just mixed twisted and windy, and now we have that. That's a good extra multiplier. Yeah, I guess we'll wait around for like another 30 minutes, but if we don't get sandy, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just convert that sun-dried to paradisal and convert that wet to frozen. Alright, so I have still been waiting hours on end, and we don't have friend bound, and we also have not gotten one sandstorm throughout the hours of us recording this video, which is very unfortunate. So I'm gonna go ahead and move forward then with just turning the sand dried into paradisal and the wet into frozen, and see what the value is after this. I wanted to at least get ceramic and celestial on this as well, but we're almost there, and we haven't gotten either events in hours and hours of waiting. So I guess what we're gonna go ahead and do is spawn in our scarlets here, and just in case we'll spawn in our mimic octopus just to help them out if they don't make any progress. And I'm gonna go ahead and give them all a pet toy to hopefully boost their chances. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply the chilled spray to our mushroom. So now our mushroom is officially frozen instead of wet. Alright, and just like that, our Scarlet applied Verdant to our mushroom, which gives us Paradisal as it combined with the Sun-Dried mutation. Alright, I'm gonna pick all of these guys up, and we are now at 14 mutations on this thing. Now, if you expand some of the ones that combined, we'd be at 16 mutations. Now, I only really needed to get Ceramic on this, and then maybe Celestial and Aurora. So we're pretty much missing 3 legit mutations, but we're almost there. But within hours of sitting here, I didn't get any of those events, which is crazy. Now, of course, this doesn't include all the admin ones, but I think the creator program is supposed to resume very soon, so we can start getting those in these videos again. It's time to check with Steven the price of our mushroom. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do that. And Steven, what is our mushroom valued at? Alright, so our mushroom is worth 5 billion. I think this could have definitely been a lot more if the size of this thing was bigger. I don't really know the max size you can get of a mushroom. I know I've seen some very, very tall ones before, some very big ones, but for this one only being, I don't even know, probably around 30 to 40 kilograms, that's pretty good. I mean, 5 bill is pretty good with all these mutations. There's definitely other plants that would have gotten you more. Alright, there's all 8 moon cats. We're gonna go ahead and plant the elephant ear right here to begin with, and then we're gonna get our sprinklers out. So let's do the usual. Let's get a master sprinkler on it, a godly sprinkler, basic, and advanced. All right, there we go. We're all set. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing to grow. We're almost there. Come on. Grow in for us. The mooncats are already napping, so hopefully the fruits on this thing become gigantic. All right, there we go. We're officially grown in. We have our elephant ear plant ready to go. Now we actually have to just wait and get an elephant ear fruit to grow in. All right, we've used over 1,000 watering cans on this thing, and this is the only progress we have so far. Ooh, this is tempting. We have a rainbow one that's growing in, and it always takes us a lot longer to get rainbow because you have to use the butterfly, which like takes 20 or 30 minutes. Oh my gosh, look at how big this one is that just grew in. Okay, we might have a winner on the size. So even though this one's rainbow, I think we have a winner of which one we're going to go with, which is this gigantic elephant ear. And we're gonna go ahead and put some polar bears down so we can get chilled going. And then we will do our sprays like we normally do. So we're gonna do chalked on that. We're gonna do chocolate on it, and then we're gonna do pollinated on it. All right, we're good there. We're gonna also get a honey sprinkler set on it so we can get honey glazed. All right, honey glaze is there. You can see the effect. And now we just need one of these polar bears to chill this one and then we could start aiming to get rainbow on it. All right, well, our polar bears are trying to get, oh, well, it looks like they just got chilled on this one, actually. So I believe this one has all 5 mutations on it, but I can't really check until it's fully grown, which is a bit of a problem, but we can start making progress. I'm gonna get a queen bee out, and then we're gonna get our butterfly out so we can convert this elephant ear to rainbow. And again, the queen bee has a 5-minute shorter cooldown than the butterfly, so we can get that rainbow effect on this elephant ear 5 minutes faster than we normally would be able to. All right, I can tell watering this thing and with all the sprinklers on it, it is definitely making growth progress on the fruits. The elephant ear that we're going for right here is actually slowly growing. I'm seeing it every couple seconds just get bigger and bigger. It's really hard to tell though the size because this thing is digging into the ground. Okay, so the way that the elephant ears grow in Grow Garden is that the first layer grows in, which is like the outer layer, and then you get this inner layer that grows in. As you can see for this one, here's the inner layer growing. So here's our elephant ear that we are working with. This is the inner layer that is growing in now. The outer layer is over here. The inner layer looks to be bigger than the actual outer layer. As you can see, this is gigantic. Like, this is huge. All right, so the queen bee's cooldown is finished. That should help with our butterfly here. And now the butterfly should go ahead and add a rainbow onto this gigantic elephant ear. Wait, what? What's going on? Why is it not doing it? The butterfly didn't seem to do anything, but I don't know exactly why. Alright, I actually had to just save a clip because I just saw the polar bear applied chilled to the elephant ear. I thought this whole time we had chilled, it kept failing, and now I think we officially do have chilled on it. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot that there's actually a 3rd layer to the elephant ears. So there's like out, middle, and in. We only have 2 layers done on this one, and the 2nd layer is not even done yet. I just want to point that out. We've used over 6,000 watering cans on it now, and that 3rd layer still hasn't even peaked out. And these ones are still even growing here, and these have been getting the same amount of watering cans. So I can only imagine this is going to use up probably another 5,000 plus watering cans to finish this. So honestly, we might just AFK until it's fully grown. All right, so we stacked some sprinklers, and we have sighting of the 3rd and final layer of this elephant ear. So we are definitely making progress. We are getting there. This thing should be done hopefully soon enough. All right, something I didn't think of is that I could have bought the grow all sign in the front of my garden, and I think that would have sprouted all my fruits. Let me go ahead and test that on my main account real quick and see if I can grow all my plants with my main account. All right, I just did it, and it looks like that actually works. So if we did that to begin with, we would have actually saved a lot of time and a lot of watering cans. Oh, and the queen bee is doing her thing, getting the butterfly to convert my mutations. And now look at this giant elephant ear. It is now rainbow. This is a huge elephant ear. So what we're gonna go ahead and do now that it has rainbow is put pollinated back onto it. Then we're going to put shocked back onto it. We're going to put chocolate back onto it. And then we're going to use the honey sprinkler. All right, now that should have caught us up. So now we should have, yep, there we go. We are back up to 5 mutations. And when the polar bears do their thing, hopefully we get chilled back on this. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the rest of these elephant ears though, so they're out of the way. Once this is chilled, we can officially move forward on doing the events to get the rest of the mutations that we need. All right, there we go. Polar bear applied mutation chill to elephant ear. So we're gonna go ahead and pick up all these polar bears now, and we are going to spawn in some other pets. So we're gonna spawn in 2 scarlets for the new verdant mutation that they can add to the plant. We're gonna go ahead and spawn in 2 of our chicken zombies to hopefully get zombified. We're gonna go ahead and spawn in 2 disco bees as well, and 2 cooked owls. So that way we have a chance to get all of the pet mutations that we need. So we can either get verdant, cooked or burnt, zombified, and disco, and that will add on some mutation to this thing. A friend actually told me this, by the way, and I think a couple people in the comments told me this, but you can actually highlight certain fruits specifically. So if we go ahead and favorite the big elephant ear over here, just so we don't touch it by mistake, we can actually use our shovel to delete these elephant ears that are growing in individually. So I probably am just late to this information, but this will actually help so we can get rid of some of these elephant ears that grow in that we don't want. So hopefully our pets will target mutations on the only one that we have. Oh, disco bee, he just applied disco to this. Cooked owl, come on. Cook or burn this elephant ear. I don't care, I want either mutation. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. Good job, Cooked Owl. I'm proud of you. We now have Burnt and Disco on this thing, so now we can pick up the rest of our Cooked Owls here, and we just need these chicken zombies to get us zombified. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in some more chicken zombies and another scarlet bird, and that is some better chances to get the rest of the pet mutations that we need. Let's go. Our scarlet just applied verdant to our elephant ear, which now means if we get sun-dried, we can get paradisal. But there we go. We got verdant on it for now. All right, so Brighter is officially here, about to queue up all of our events to spam mutations on our giant elephant ear. The only problem is that I left the game to go AFK, and I completely forgot about keeping my plot. And since he's already here, I don't want to have to rejoin and go over there. So we're just going to wing it and see what mutations we get. All right, but we're going to go ahead and prepare here. I'm going to go ahead and move this elephant ear over here. But the only problem with that is these tanning mirrors and star collars that I placed down will no longer reach. Well, this one might, but it's a little too far away. So we're going to have to put a new one down. Let's go ahead and just get rid of that one just so we're safe. And then we'll go ahead and put one here just so we can make sure it hits. And then the tanning mirrors will go ahead and move as well. I'm going to put one over here, and then I'll put one over here, so that way we should be able to get sun-dried pretty easy. And we're starting off with the bang. The galactic event is here, thanks to Brighter as always. Hopefully we can actually get the galactic mutation from the space travel event. It is a difficult one to get. It's a pretty low chance, but I really want to see if we can get it legit this time. Oh, a fruit in your garden turned to moonlit. However, it's this little thing and not the big elephant ear. We gotta keep trying to delete these elephant ears and getting them out of the way. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and delete this little one right here that got the moonlit on it, and we should be good. Oh, I just saw something get moonlit, and it was our big one. Perfect. We needed moonlit. We got moonlit. Please, space engines, can you blast and give my elephant ear over here? Can you just give him galactic? What's back here, by the way? Oh, I can go in here? Hello? Let me in. All right, these space travel events only last about a minute. Oh, I think it's ending. Okay, it's blasting away. And we're now into alien invasion. Well, did we get galactic? No, we did not get galactic. I think alien-like we should have a better chance with. Hopefully, we see alien-like appear, and hopefully we get a UFO to attack. Now, if the UFO does attack, we need to make sure that this little guy is gone. Yo, Steven? Steven, hey, buddy. Can you tell those aliens to please mutate my elephant ear over there? Look, it's gonna be worth a lot. I promise I won't empty your pockets with it, okay? Oh, okay, nighttime just ended, though. Now we're in full effect of daytime aliens. I thought it was gonna be, like, really dark, nighttime scary aliens, but we have daytime aliens. Looks like the aliens don't want to have any part of my elephant ear production. Well, we're gonna have to wait for alien-like. We did not get alien-like, but there's chances to have that added in later. I don't know what our chances are for plasma because Jandel kind of just shoots the floor now. Oh man, we're gonna lose out on another event, I think, just because this one be bugging. All right, well, plasma was a fail. I don't think I can get plasma when he doesn't shoot anything but the floor. You're looking pretty nice, Jandel. Would you mind, giving some of your heavenly touch to my elephant ears? All right, the queen bees are cooling down. Some chicken zombies attacking and failed. All right, we're down to our last heavenly event. He's gonna bloop away, but we're down to our last one. We'll see if this thing gets heavenly mutation on it with this last heavenly event, but if it doesn't, we gotta move on to the next one, and hopefully these chicken zombies get us zombified. But so far, our event luck today is garbage. Very garbage. Oh, but here we go. We have the heat wave event coming through with our sun-dried chances, and bam! I think we just got it, actually. Yeah, we got paradisal, but we have a chance to get sun-dried back now, and that will increase the money on this even more. There we go. Tanning mirror just got hit. Easy. And there we go. Paradisal and sun-dried. So we're looking good. We're getting more mutations, but we still have quite a few left that we have to get, and hopefully we get every single one of the rest of these that are about to play out. Oh, the meteors are here, and one literally just like landed right in my plot, but I didn't get meteoric. So we'll just wait a second. Hopefully we get one to hit. I'm just gonna sit right here and chill. Let's see what happens. Oh, these are literally like right on top of my garden. I think to help with this one, I'm gonna trowel this over here, and then we'll move it back, but I'm gonna put it like right in the middle, so that way if a meteor hits, it has all of this that it can land on, And hopefully we get meteoric by this. Yeah, like that. Come on, give us the mutation, give us the meteor. Yo, right here, right here. Oh, it was so close. He was, oh, right here. Yo, that's on. That is on. That literally touched it on the corner over there. Did we get it? How did we not get that? And I think that's it. But we're into the black hole. Okay, we got a good chance for Void Touch. Usually Void Touch is an easy one. You don't really have to do anything. It will just kind of happen. Void touched, Void touched, Void touched, Void touched. What do we got next? Oh, okay. This one is a pretty good guarantee. We have a meteor shower, which will get called in by these star crawlers. I kind of wish the star crawlers called in the meteors from the admin meteors. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Right on that. There's no way that doesn't get celestial. That literally touched everything there. There we go. Perfect. We got celestial. That's another one down. Oh, it's windy and it's actually somehow pushing me. Is this new? I don't think it pushed you before, did it? Maybe I just move around too much to not ever notice, but it actually pushes you if you don't move. I don't know what I could do, if I should move this plant to see if it'll increase chances. I mean, I guess now that the star crawlers are used up and we're good with that, I could try and move this and at least, you know, put it like out here. Ow, that just landed on my head. But whenever the tornadoes spawn in, maybe this will be a better chance to get twisted if it's poking out like this, because this goes out pretty far. I mean, oh, look at that. I literally just moved it. We got wind struck. All right, the wind event has ended with some more wind because there's tornadoes now. But yeah, these twisters are a lot faster now. So in the last update, they actually made 2 twisters spawn into the map at a time now, and they spawn in at different spots. They don't just spawn in the middle and then move around. They actually spawn around the map and then move around. So much easier and better chances now to actually get twisted. Oh, here comes another one. I'm gonna move it over here towards it. Come on, twist it up. Twist it up, tornado. Come on, let's go. Give me that twisted on it, please. Please, buddy. Yes, let's go. We got it. We got twisted. That's another one we can check off our box. Perfect. So moving this thing around definitely helps with getting twisted. All right, we're almost there. So now it is raining, which can apply wet to our elephant ear, which will then combine wet and chilled and make frozen. So let's see if that happens. One of our chicken zombies just applied zombified again, but it went to our other elephant ear that's trying to grow in. So now we have 2 elephant ears with zombified that we're not even going to use. All right, here we go. Volcano time. Let's see if we can get this thing molten. This is pretty big. It has a pretty wide range. It's covering almost our entire garden on this side. So as long as we can get one of these molten cubes to land, it should get molten. Let's see. I don't see molten, but these are getting pretty close. That's good. I don't know if I should back it up and put it over here just so we have a better chance, but we can always trowel it into the molten and see if that helps. Oh my, that literally was like on top of this. That was on top of it. Wait, this one got molten right here. Did this one? Yo, let's go. We got molten. We got another one down in the bag. Perfect. So we're missing about 8 mutations and we could get chilled into frozen, but we did get 15 mutations here on this elephant ear, which is a pretty good amount. But we're gonna finish this video off by having Brighter join the server and add the rest of the mutations that we need on this thing, including Dawnbound, as he's able to add Dawnbound onto any plant in the game. And we're gonna see how much this thing is actually worth. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pick up our elephant ear as the map explodes behind us. And here we go. We picked it up. Let's see what this thing looks like in our hand. All right, so as you can see, we have our giant elephant ear. It does shrink down now that we're holding it. But if I hover over this, you can see the percent chance on the chicken zombie. And you can see all of the other mutations that we had so far on this thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and place this in my inventory. And we're gonna have Brighter add the rest of the mutations onto this thing. Brighter is here in the server. He is going to add the rest of the mutations that we need on our elephant ear, which are the following: zombified, galactic, alien-like, plasma, heavenly, meteoric, bloodlit, void touch, frozen, and dawnbound. He's gonna add dawnbound onto this. I think it's ready. All right, we got it. All right, thank you to Brighter as always. We now have every mutation in Grow a Garden on the elephant ear. So now it is time to check with Steven and see how much this thing is worth. So we're gonna go ahead and go up to Steven. How much is this worth? This is 420 billion. That is actually a really good value. So this thing is worth quite a bit of money, nearly half a trillion. So elephant ears are definitely worth it, and you get more of them than the sunflower. So honestly, elephant ears, I think, are the way to grind if you want some money. However, the seed is very rare, but it's worth it if you get one. So what do you guys think? Was this worth all the mutations on it? And let me know also down in the comments what fruit you want to see me do next. I hope you guys enjoy.